Lenny, listen, listen, listen. Welcome to Monday Night Ramblings, where I will ramble on for maybe 3 hours today. I don't really have a topic, as you could see what the thumbnail was. Hey, did you miss the thumbnail? Well, it's there. I figured it was time to update the giant arm, uh, hanging out the dragonfly, and I thought, what better way than to be shooting out the rattler in the gunner's position. So I had a lot of fun. I had fun doing it because I took that picture, and then I called Olivia down, and I'm like, "Hey, I need you to take a picture of me." And I'm like standing in front of my closet with the light on, and I took a few different pictures with different faces, and she's just like, I'm so glad that I have a daughter that is willing to roll with some really stupid things that I may do, and that be one of them. So anyway, um, I knew I had to get a new picture up there. Although the dragonfly picture is still there, don't worry. I love that one too. So anyway, hope everyone had a wonderful weekend, and once again, thank you guys for tuning in and giving me the end of your first work day. And I know we got most people have what, 4 more days to go. We got a long 3-day weekend coming, so I hope it's going to be a nice shorter week, or at least a week that goes by fairly quick for everyone. But anyway, um hope you guys had a great weekend. Uh, i i can't say that I stay away from YouTube. I always seem to be doing something on the weekends. You may just not see me too often. I think I jumped on a couple live streams, and I do apologize. I want to apologize to guys like Oz, who I used to be on the clubhouse all the time. I haven't been on very often. Um, this week and last week, I'm recording for the TV terminal. We've been doing Dexter. Adam and I have been doing Dexter, and right now, not only are we doing Dexter, we're going to be doing the terminal list, Dark Wolf. And there's 3 episodes dropping this Wednesday. So we had to get 3 done, including our normal Dexter. So luckily we have them early, but you want to get all of this stuff like kind of just in the bag and going. So we kind of had to decide, and it was for or Saturday and Sunday, because Friday, I'm like, you know what? I need my little bit of time to decompress, get away from it all, and that's kind of what I did. So anyway, I dropped a link. If you're not following the TV terminal, please do. It's a lot of fun. Just Adam and I talking about talking about different TV shows that we're watching, and then we're reviewing. He also is doing a couple. He's done other shows with his brother, and right now, like they are doing Chief of War with Jason Momoa, and I guess it's really good. That's not something that I don't have Apple TV, so I haven't been following along, but I guess it's really good. So please, if you're not following us yet, if you're not subscribed to that channel, please do. It's hard. It's hard to grow your channel, and again, when you get into movies and stuff like that, it's real difficult. But anyway, that was kind of my weekend. Did some more yard work around the neighborhood, trying to get some stuff done. I kind of mentioned that I'm on the board. I live in these townhouses, and it's just like there's so much stuff they kind of let overgrow with like the grass and the cracks and everything. So I said I'll do my side if somebody else does their side. Um, it's more work than you think that it is, and luckily it was cool. So I went out I went out Sunday morning, couple hours, trying to clean the stuff up the best that I can. Um, but a few other things before we get into saying hi to everyone. Um, Big shout out to Baldy Locks Reviews, who sent me Crystal Ball, who I still haven't seen yet. I stopped going to Walmart. Crystal Ball dropped a review, so please check out Baldy Locks Reviews. Now, I just want to say this. He told me, he goes, you know what? Because it kind of disappeared. It disappeared once again. On the app. So I like the mail. Did you lose it or whatever? He's like, man, I put a little note in there. So I open it up, and this is what I see. this this is what I see from my partner in crime on the Circle of Jerks, Baldy Locks. He does this high punk, and he says, "You're a punk ass," which made me laugh due to someone else who once called me a punk ass with toys and thought that it was hilarious, or probably thought he was being really rude and mean to me. But in actuality, we kind of ran with it. So anyway, thank you to Baldy Locks. We'll talk about that in a second. But before we do, let's just jump in and say hi to the chat quickly. Allison says, "Are you on the HOA?" We don't really have one because it's a townhouse. I guess it kind of is the HOA. This is something I kind of said, "Hey, I will do this if you buy the weed and grass killer." Technically, we're not even supposed to do it, but it looked so bad that I kind of made them do it. So anyway, let's say hi to the chat. There's a lot of people here. 54. Please hit that like button if you haven't. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't on that. So quickly, first in was Windblade saying hi. We got Mike Gould, Same Time Toys, MTC. There is my partner, Baldly Locks Reviews, or at least one of them. We got Evil Dookie jumping in here. We got Mudhorn Station. Here's another one of my cohorts. Tony's Fake saying punk shooting out blue lasers. We got Snow Wolf, HK Viper. We have US Combat Dojo. GI Bro with the best guns in the community. We have Derek Holloman joining us. I already said Evil Dookie, didn't I? Evil Dookie will also be my guest this Thursday at 9 p.m. on Thursday with a friend. I've actually only seen him one time and saw him on Same Time Toys. So he can keep no offense. I saw that he can keep a conversation, so I wanted to have him on. So I asked him to come on. So this Thursday, tune in. Beardy Mega Beardison joining us. Sabir Del Norte saying good evening, Lawrence and Chad. We have Men Who's here. We have Allison Troy saying, "What do we do if we don't have a second favorite? I only like Tony. The rest are kind of meh." Well, you only get to choose a second favorite, and it's funny. Why are you going for the person that doesn't like diversity? I thought you would not go for that one, but hey, what do I know? Jason Steele jumping in here. We have Cobra Commander. I know we have more. We got Dustin Blair, Nolan, which makes us Toy Tube official. We have Matthew Matson jumping in here, and you know what Matthew always gets, and that is a nerd. Steve Martin has joined us, who has become one of my favorite. Steve Martin has quickly become one of my favorite commenters on, whether it be on the Circle of Jerks, whether it be on the stuff that he leaves on my videos. He's fucking hilarious. All right. Just want to say that. David R. We have Rowdy Riles jumping in here. Go check out Rowdy. She really, again, I try not to get too involved in the political stuff or stuff that's going on in the community. She talked about someone who I know the name, or I've seen the logo. And again, go check her stuff out. If someone in the Mythic Legions community, but it has nothing to do with Mythic Legions or anyone that they've associated with. But you know what? Certain things come out. I'm avoiding talking about it as much as I can. I'm not saying I wouldn't talk about it, but it's not something that I'm going to get into it. But if you want to find out, go check her out. I think she's still headed up. I know I know she talked that she might turn it to a private members only. I don't think it's something that you should do unless if you're trying to avoid it. But there's just somebody in the community that's done some awful things they've been accused of. Ted Knight has joined us. Whew. And there's me telling you to go follow my other channel, Boba Fett Gaming. I'm running out of people here. Jason S. We got Father Son saying HOA LOA. Yeah, pretty much. Debo DNA joining us. Johnny Reno has joined us. We have My Buddies Customs, who I haven't seen in a while. Krusty Old Crow, who I want you to stick around for a second, because I'm going to be kind of spotlighting you quickly. Cal Shave is in the house. Woo! Hi, it's me. Let's see here. So, Father Son says, greeting from Fort Wadsworth, aka a pit, aka Shallon, New York. Jay Astro is here. I'm just now I'm lost here trying to figure out all these names here. Toy Matrix is in the house here. We have Stanley Everhart, who I've not seen in a while. DJ Mr. McFly. Is there anyone? There is fucking Len S. All right. I think we've all agreed. I'm not going to try and pronounce the name. Scrivenich, right? How do I highlight you? I said we all agreed we're not going to say the name Scrivenich. I think I got it right. You're Len fucking S. How about that? All right. War Chest full of toys saying War Chest is here. Woo. All right. Hi, it's me says I would like to take this opportunity to apologize to the community and feel free to let me know why. I don't have a problem with you. Mr. Mad Gus joining us. All right, so quickly here is Krusty Old Crow saying, hey to Derek. So I just kind of want to bring up this guy right here. Krusty Old Crow. I want to say that you have been you've been killing it with some of your reviews. You do something a little bit different than other people do, and that's what I always say about everyone, man. Like, put your own take on it, right? Krusty is sitting at 906 subscribers. So I want you guys all, if you are not, to head on over there, see how close you can get him to 1,000. Again, that's everyone's goal, to get that monetization, just so you can get a little bit coming in. I rip on Krusty all the time about how certain things aren't realistic. I'm looking right here at, I'm looking at, Battle Armor Cobra Commander, his tactical perspective. He served in the Canadian military, so he has a different aspect, but he's been able to turn that real life aspect into a way that you can actually, it doesn't come off as being some smug asshole who served in the military telling you how it should be. I think he does a really good job. And here's another thing that I want to say. I was watching your Major Blood. Your sound is way better than it used to be. I don't know if you got a different phone or a different camera. I didn't notice a mic, but you sound way better, and that makes everything 100% better. So anyway, head on over there. Like I said, he's sitting at 906 subscribers right now. Let's see how close we can get him to 1,000. He's going to hit it soon enough. But anyway, you're doing a wonderful job. And Len says, wow, you said it right. Len Scrivenich. Len fucking S. Tech 489 has joined us. All right. Look, Steve Martin saying he loves his reviews. No, seriously, you do a great job, man. Cobra 887 jumping in here. Whew. All right. Look, my buddy says sub to Krusty Old Crow. Let's get him to 1,000. Yes, please do. And he's actually one of the good guys. And again, I think sometimes you guys may not realize who I'm actually friends with. Again, I won't focus that much on someone and rag on them if I don't actually like them. I choose. I guess I can't say that because I think when I'm talking, if I don't like someone or not. I would hope so. I think I make it pretty clear. And there's Baldy Locks. And the reason why I needed to say Len's name the best that I could, Len Scrivenich, right, is because Baldy said he met Len. Baldy said he met Len the other weekend at the show that he went to, and he was saying that because he can't say my name, he screws it up every time, and he's absolutely correct. And it's kind of weird because I can look at my ex's last name and people completely obliterate it. I only know how to say it because um, because we dated for so long and had kids together. And the funny thing is, my ex, her brother was a professional baseball player, and his name literally just wrapped completely around the back of his jersey. So, father son says your Rattler thumbnail is pulling everyone in. It was. It's funny because it's like I don't have a topic. I don't have a topic, and that's kind of why I like. You know what? Let's just throw something up there, and we'll just kind of bullshit about stuff. It was actually a good amount of news to talk about, and no GI Joe news. I hope that doesn't scare anyone off. So anyway, but yeah. So I'm just reading through here again really quickly. So I want to give a big shout out to my guest from last week, and that is Chaz the Guru. I've chatted with Chaz numerous times. And one of my things when I started Thursday with a Friend, over 2 years ago, was that it had to be face to face. It couldn't be an avatar or anything like that. And I saw him show his face on another show, and I was like, all right. I reached out to him right away. No, this was a couple months ago. I don't do things like, hey, come on next week. So I was able to have him on. I've chatted with him. I had a great chat with him. I hope you guys have checked out that episode. So please go back and check it out if you haven't yet. And like I said, this week I will be having Evo Dookie on. This guy has no social media other than his YouTube channel, a lot like Woody. So I got to have his phone number, send him the text. But please, this Thursday, check that out. I think it's going to be a real good one. Like I said, I saw him on Same Time Toys. So that's how I knew, hey, you know what? Here's how I actually got a hold of him, was through them. So then we have Oz jumping in here. Oz, I got to talk to you still about the Toys for Tots. And Allison, I got to talk to you also. I have not wrote anything down. I'm going to get a list of everything, how I want it set up this weekend, and I'm going to reach out to everyone and then go from there. Because I really got to get on that. That's 2 months away. 2 months away. Bobby Wool jumping in here saying, no G.I. Joe news or giveaways. I'm out of here. That's right. Bobby Wool used to win all the giveaways. Bobby used to win all the giveaways, it seemed like that. Cooter's Garage is also jumping in here. All right, quickly. So going back to Krusty Old Crow, I'm going to refresh that. Did he gain any subscribers? Oh, he went down. 3 new subscribers. I have a feeling a lot of people that are subscribed to this channel or listening here are also subscribed to Crow. So I don't think there's going to be a huge boost coming from me. But again, I want everyone to check him out. Again, he's got a different style, and that's what I say to everyone, man. Like, take aspects from people you enjoy, but create your own thing. That's the way you grow on YouTube. I've heard Mr. Beast, who I don't follow Mr. Beast at all. He's not that's not really in my wheelhouse of things that I'm into, but he's talked about it before. And he said, and I know I mentioned this before. He said, there's a guy that literally copies everything that I do, like word to word. And he's like, you always take aspects from people, but you always take aspects from people, but don't copy them. Put your own spin on it, because someone's already doing what you're copying. That's not what you want. And again, that's been toy making for Eternia. That's been making cars. Like, they copied stuff. I said before, when it comes to cars, like every single manufacturer, whether they like it or not, wishes they came up with the Dodge Ram concept, right? The big rig look, because everyone's eventually gone to some form of it since then, right? So everyone wishes they were the innovator of that. And you see toys are the same way. There's lots of manufacturers that they either take aspects from specific companies, or sometimes they just completely outright copy them, right? The crazy thing is, as popular as Marvel is, it seems like they've copied the majority of stuff from DC, but we see it all over. So don't completely copy, take people's ideas and then put your own spin on it. And I think Crow's done a wonderful job with that. So, all right, we got Bill K also jumping in here. Woo! Yeah. Okay. So tomorrow, you guys know where to check us out. Circle of Jerks. Once again, Where is it at? It's over on Baldy's channel. All right. So I'm going to go over here and then I'm going to highlight it. So if you want to check it out, we're only on Baldy's channel now. We've condensed it all into one spot, basically, so you guys can all see the chat. But again, I didn't need something else on my channel. I think I have enough crap on here. I'll let them put their crap on their stuff. So anyway, there's our next Circle of Jerks talking about PulseCon 2025 being canceled. In all honesty, I have no idea what they're going to be talking about. It looks like some of the stuff that we're talking about, probably the same stuff I'm going to talk about today. So anyway, please head on over there, subscribe to Baldy so you don't miss anything. But that's actually a link to the show tomorrow. Because again, I know you guys all want to see more of us, right? Oh shit, where'd my chat go? Sorry, I'm trying to look over here. So for a while, I'm looking at my poll here, asking who the second favorite jerk is. I think we all know who the number one jerk is. And Tony was in the lead, but Baldy has taken over. And Terry's catching up to Spec. But yeah, it's a big race between Baldy and Tony. So Tony, man, you have lost your magic. Maybe people are not as into gridiron as they used to be. I think that might just be it. Anyway, all right. And as I did mention quickly, I'll highlight this here. Evo Dookie this Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. I think you guys all know when Thursday with the friend happens. All right. So you want to check that out quickly. Not quickly. Make sure you go over there and do whatever thing you hit the remind me. All right. Give me a second here. Yeah, quick second. All right. Just need to clear my throat here. Oops, Mr. Madiga says, yeah, you're absolutely right, Punk. In a few weeks, I'm going to start my nude reviews on figures. I'll be the only tuber talking toys naked. I hope everyone will check me out. Now, if you can get our old Wood Bunny, she actually was Wood Baby. She was Wood Bunny for a short bit. She's disappeared. I think she keeps getting stalkers, and then I'm not one of them. It's probably Thanos Copter, and then she deletes it, and then she comes back. So, but yeah, it's you can try it. Only figs, you go for it, man. It's I don't know what you look like, so hey, maybe you look good, and that's awesome. Bill K says, I'm naked now, Mr. Mad Gus. Tony says, better vote for me, guys, or I'll come over and tape all your buns together. Now you're just threatening him. Now, see, that's what Tony says, and then you have Baldy. See, this is why he's the true leader of Circle of Jerks. He says, let's pump those numbers up for Terry and Spec per my mom. Anyway, all right. So if you see the scroll on the bottom, it says, how do you display your toys? Send pics and your name to apunkwithtoys@gmail.com. So I was going to do that for this week, but I said, you know what? Hey, I want to give everyone time. I've tried this once before. Okay. I tried it once before where I was like, hey, you know what? Send me some pics of your stuff and I'm going to highlight them. I'm going to talk about them. Well, if nothing major happens, next week the topic's going to be is how do you display your toys? And if you display them in bins, because that's what you do, send me pictures of your bins, but also give me pictures, your name, so I know who you are. If you're like Matson, who I don't believe really displays his stuff because he's constantly bringing it in and out, doing pictures with it, send me stuff like that. Like hey, these are my pictures just kind of all laid out. They sit in a bin, but here are some actual pictures of my photography. And if you're like me, where you have them on your shelves, you have them all displayed. I'm kind of crazy because I'll have them displayed, and then I also take them out and do pictures with them. And I'm sure a lot of other people do. I want you to send me those. I want to highlight some people. I want to see how you guys do it, and that's going to be the topic as long as nothing major breaks over the week. So please, this here, don't send them. I would rather you not send them to Facebook or to Instagram. It's a lot easier if they're sent to punkwithtoys@gmail.com. This way, I know exactly who you are. Put your name in there. I can download them, put them on the slides, and that's what we're going to talk about. If I have like 2 pictures, then I'll show them, but I guess it won't be a real topic. The whole idea is to kind of bring you guys all together, bring you into the chat, the community, and highlight who you guys are. I mean, again, I feel like we're all watching these YouTube channels because our friends in real life don't care. Significant others don't care. Many of our kids, mine, don't care. So we find other people to jump in here and do this stuff. So why not just kind of showcase it? Not everyone does Instagram. Not everyone does a YouTube where they see it. And even if you do have that, maybe not everyone sees it. Maybe more people will see it by tuning into my channel and watching. So anyway, right down there, it's a very easy email to remember. And again, I will be promoting it throughout the week through community tabs, probably Instagram. I love to get as many pictures as possible to just completely fill up a whole topic. Hi, it's me. Says, imagine he pulls up in the ambulance, and next thing you know, my hot dog buns here are all taped together. All right. That is referring to Tony and his sickness wanting to tapes people's buttocks together. I don't really get that. SCS Dog has joined us too. Woo! All right. Just kind of scrolling through, looking through everyone. Cobra Commander says we care about you, Punk. Bring it in, Punk. Who said they didn't care about me? A Plastic Skulls. Did I say something like people don't care about me? What did I say? I'm totally lost on what I said. All right. Trying to think of everything else that I have here. So anyway, once again, 77 people watching right now. I did this picture, and I'll kind of mention it again. A lot of you guys probably saw the pictures that I did this week outside with the Rattler, the Hiss, and everything. And I was like, oh man, I should redo another Dragonfly one. And I was actually going to have myself in the pilot seat with my hand hanging out and my arm hanging out again. And I was like, nah, I need something a little bit different. So I did this. As you can see, this is the only time I've made myself a little bit bigger. I can't believe, and maybe someone has, no one's made the comment like, he actually got in there, he's so small. But I literally sat there in front of my closet, had Olivia take pictures, and then I just erased a little bit of stuff, but it fits perfect where I'm actually firing the gun. So I just needed something different, something that I put up on top of the for the Facebook group page, Punks with Toys, just to kind of bullshit, right? Just to kind of have something different up on the top. I think I needed to change it just every now and then, get something a little bit different, which does remind me, if you're on Facebook and you want to be part of our group, Punks with Toys, there's 3 simple questions. If you don't answer the questions, we just ignore you. We say, nope, you're not able to come in, because it's really that easy. Rexship has jumped in saying, ahoy, Punk and chat. Anyway, Tony says, Breakfast Club, you non-watching 80s movie fool Punk. I watch a lot of 80s movies, but I have no idea what you're talking about. I can't read everything, all right? I can't read everything, unfortunately. Bill Wu says, I never seen anyone put stickers on the Rattler. Matthew Matson did. He sent he sent myself pictures. I think he put them on Instagram. I honest to God, I thought he was a complete heathen. No way in hell I'm putting stickers on mine. Not on any of my stuff. But Matthew Matson, I know he has. Machine Man jumping in here, saying like that African movie Captain Rogers or something. Okay. My daughter is doing sign language to me.
If you hair, but you don't have hair.
Oh, and this. So if you don't know what that is in sign language,
shower.
Neither does anyone that's deaf.
Shower.
It's shower.
Did you tell them how you drove today?
I did not tell them because I haven't been talking about you. She drove today.
It was quite good.
And she's telling me.
Except for I slowed down to stop, and my mom was like, "Why are you stopping?" Or I slowed down to turn.
Did you just want to tell them?
No.
Okay. She doesn't want to tell you, but she wants to speak loud enough so you can hear.
I can clean my golf clubs with the kitchen sink.
I don't know. Go downstairs and clean them.
With the kitchen sink.
Go downstairs in the basement with the utility sink and clean off your clubs.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Chaz the Guru jumping in here saying you came out of the closet and took pictures. The cry closet. The cry closet, that is. As quickly, Commander Unicron. Father Son has transformed to Commander Unicron. You know what? I don't think I've ever seen you in here as either one, as Father Son or Commander Unicron. So it's great to have new people here. And I guess it's great to have two new people who are the same person. So anyway, Krusty O'Crow says Olivia will inherit the show someday. All of us will be hers. You guys will all have a much better show when she finally takes over. I'm not gonna lie about that. All right. So quickly, we'll kind of talk about this. So it looks like PulseCon's been canceled. I got this from Toy News I believe. So I guess PulseCon 2025 has been canceled. I'm not really sure if there's a reason for it, because I guess now they're doing more it seems like they're doing more in-person shows. I mean, they were in Canada this week. So I'm not really sure what the whole, the whole point of this is. PulseCon was something really easy that they could do. Throw on a couple exclusives, but now it's just kind of different. Who knows why? I'm not sure. But I guess it's, is it the end? Who knows? I don't see why you cancel it 1 year and then you bring it back for something that's online. So does that mean that the 1020, what is 1020, 1024, whatever that is, if that's going to be canceled, who knows? But I guess we'll see. Who knows what's going on at Hasbro? They are just completely, who knows? PulseCon removed the cracker and the barrel from the logo, and now it's canceled. Guess. Woodman 29 jumping in here. We have Brick something also. Woo! And then we have a BQ King saying Mendoza and Tony's Figs. Whew. And then Commander Unicron saying, can we consider it canceled if it was never truly announced? That's a really good question. I was about to say yes, because it's happened the past few years, but that's just us assuming that it is every single year. If they never announced it, you're absolutely correct. I guess technically it hasn't been canceled. It was never ever announced. So, but yeah, it's that's a damn good question. Either way, there won't be no PulseCon, and then people will be running around flipping out about that Pythona figure. Are they going to be able to get her? Again, I can only imagine the uproar that people are going to get when it comes to that. So, whew. All right. So once again, 82 people watching. As I mentioned, please, where it says send your pics. Okay, I want to do a whole topic about how people display, how people display their stuff. So take a couple pictures of your display, shoot it on over, and then leave your name, like your actual YouTube name. And maybe you don't. Maybe you're like, hey, you know what? I don't have a YouTube name. Put your, Larry F. Whatever. Don't do that because that's my name. Uh, just so I can add it, and try and do it before Monday because I don't think I'll be adding any slides. Everything pretty much gets done on Sunday, so I probably should have put that by Sunday. And Russell Lemieux says in a box 4 area codes away. Did you? So do you mean at the Hasbro Pulse compound? No, but but again, if that's how you actually are doing it, then sure. I mean, if that's what you want to send over, hey, you know what? More power. But I tried doing this one other time, and there was like 2 people, 3-star being one of them, that actually sent over pictures. Commander Unicron says, I will send some pics and videos to your email. I look forward to sharing more with you and everyone else. Let's make our community wider and more powerful and active. Yeah, it's difficult, and again, it's very hard to do, except especially stuff like this. And as the channels grow, it's definitely, it's definitely harder to always bring everyone in. So I know I do my best, and I know Circle of Jerks, we, they all kind of agree, like, yeah, let's make sure people are, people feel like they are being seen. Because no one wants to put their time and effort into something and no one even acknowledge who they are. So, and then quickly, Woody 222 jumping in here saying, hit that like button. This guy, you know what he gets? Because I made it specifically for him. That's what Woody gets. All right. Because Woody likes fart noises for some reason. He likes the wet ones too. Just remember that. He doesn't like you to do it to him, but he likes to be crop dusted at shows. So if you see Woody somewhere, just crop dust him. So anyway, that's that. I don't think I have too much more to talk about other than sponsors. Oh, you know what? Yeah. So going back to the Punkathon, that's what we agreed on, Punkathon. I still feel weird saying that. I definitely still feel weird saying Punkathon. Anyway, it will be October 24th and 25th, starting at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday, running all the way. I will run till at least midnight on the 25th. I'm assuming we're going to do the exact same thing, that Ed will have control. It's going to run into Oz's clubhouse. I know last year I think I stayed on to about 2 a.m. And then I was gone. They let it run to the end of their show. If you're new to the channel and you're wondering what the hell is this Punkathon, is all for Toys for Tots. So I do a 36-hour stream. All the super chats, and all the super chats that I get, or you can send directly to my PayPal account, and anything else that the channel makes during the 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, all go to Toys for Tots through Sergeant Reds. Sergeant Reds will give us a discount on the toys. He basically goes through, picks all the toys. Just so people aren't wondering, like, oh, he's going to give all the crappy stuff. He doesn't do that. First off, they don't want old toys. It's a mix of toys, whether it be G.I. Joe Classified, McFarlane toys. There'll be girl toys obviously thrown in there because there's also girls that obviously need a good, need to have a good Christmas. But I mentioned it before. I, as a kid, never had to go without Christmas. My parents always made sure that my sister and myself, we had stuff. My kids have never had to go without a Christmas or have a bad Christmas. And I know that there's a lot of people, a lot of kids, through no fault of their own. And a lot of times it's no fault of the parents. They don't get to have a good Christmas. So if me sitting in this chair for roughly 36 hours, and I will be taking a break probably around, I think I took the break around 5 a.m., maybe it was 6 a.m. because I believe Ronnie and Shark will be on from 4 to 6 a.m. and then I will bounce and Ed will take over for the early clubhouse. And you don't want to miss if anything that Ronnie and Shark, if it's anything like last year, you don't want to miss even if you go back and watch the replay. But again, for me, it's a little thing. I take a day off of work, take 2 days off of work because I do not go back on Monday. Again, it's just you want to make sure that as many kids can have a good Christmas as possible. So that is the only time you'll see me begging for super chats, and because it all goes to Toys for Tots. We made just over $3,000 last year, and again, that's between PayPal and super chats. So YouTube, I want 4,000 this year. I don't think that's asking too much, but I will have a litany of different shows, hosts, and there'll be a lot of time that other people can jump on in here. We can just kind of chat to shows, like in between shows. So everyone has a chance to jump on here if they really want to. We got Rolando, Utah Toy Hunter, jumping in here saying hi to everyone. Woo! All right. Tripwire788 says, send to PayPal so YouTube doesn't get a cut. Yes. I would much rather you guys do that, sending it to PayPal, and I will give my PayPal again. And again, I believe more than anything that I think everyone has the benefit of the doubt. They know I'm not going to take whatever money it is and run. I think I've shown that I'm an honest enough person, and my channel is worth more than anything that I could probably make from there and bolt. So I think you guys can trust that it will go straight there. But again, there's other people that don't know who I am that may be just tuning in, and it's easier for them to send it through super chat. So I like that. But let's say you're like, I'm gonna give $100, send 75 to the PayPal, and then do 5 here, 5 there, 5 there, so people can see, and that kind of gets it flowing. So all right, and we'll be talking about it more as time goes, but you're absolutely correct, man. Sending it to PayPal is way better. Don't send it right now. All right, don't send it unless you just want to give me money. If you just want to give me money, then hey, you know what? More power to you. More power to you. All right, Viper Scout has also joined us. Ooh, and 3-star says 277 coming, and so this is what 3-star does. He gives like 277 throughout, and he doesn't give just 277. But again, if that's what you can afford, then awesome. If you can only give $5 for Toys for Tots, awesome. Again, everyone's giving it, in other locations and stuff, so I don't expect everyone to. And I will be working a giveaway for Black Friday into it. I'll be working a Black Friday giveaway into it. That's what I actually ended up doing last year. I already have like 4 or 5 different things that as we hit different amounts, I'll be giving away on Black Friday. So the more that we, again, the more that we make, the more stuff I can give away on Black Friday. So, and then Legend Series jumping in here. I know I'm planning on having him on too. So, because we got to do a little bit of wrestling talk. It's going to be late night though. Wrestling is always late. All right. Yes, but I even take Canadian. Yes, I do. All right. Anyway, I think it's time to get into a little bit of news, but you know what we do. Before we get into the news, I take a break and Mossman jumps in to talk to you.
Oh, hey guys. So Lawrence, he had to step away for a little bit. He's got a case of the grumble dust. So he asked me to kind of watch over a stream. He put me in charge of y'all. He said to me, "Oh, Mossman, I have a case of the grumble dust, and I need you to watch myself for a little bit so nobody leaves and finds out that there's more interesting things to watch on YouTube. And also, I hate Ohio." So I was like, oh, dang, so now I have to come up with a topic for my very own show. And I was like, oh, what about talking about your favorite toy stores? So my favorite toy store is HelloDopeToys.com. So they used to have this really bad website. It used to look real scammy. Like if I gave them money, they were going to go spend it on like blow and hookers. But now their website is really nice. And like I can just go in and do like 1-2 click. And then my order's placed. And they ship super fast, guys. They ship everything in 1 business day. So like I get all my toys first. So when I'm out there on the playground and all my friends are like, oh, dang, Moss Man, where'd you get that action figure? I still have to wait 17 months for mine. And I'm just like, well, I went to HelloDopeToys.com and I just pushed the buttons and then they shipped it out to me. And the packaging is so nice, guys. Like, I opened up the box. I thought, oh, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve this kind of packaging. It's so nice. But then my trash can gets full because of all the packing stuff. And I was just like, oh, dang, I just changed the trash. But now I gotta change the trash again. Oh, you're right, Matthew Matson. You can use the code APWT at HelloDopeToys.com and save 10% on your order. So how that works is, so you're gonna save 10%, and then a Punk with Toys, he has to pay that 10% that y'all saved. So if you don't like Lawrence, you can just go to HelloDopeToys.com and just buy a bunch of stuff and rack up his bill. So then like at the end of the month, they're like, Hello Dope Toys is like, oh, Lawrence, you owe us $1 million because of all the 10% codes that everybody used. And yeah, that's how that works. Okay, guys, so it looks like it's time for me to go now. So make sure you go to HelloDopeToys.com and like and subscribe. And then in the comments, put what your favorite toy store is. But if it's not HelloDopeToys.com, I'm probably just going to delete it, okay? So, all right, guys, bye!
And for no good reason other than Mossman on a polar bear. And I believe Tony's still in here. And I know Tony loves Mossman, so he gets Mossman on a polar bear, because Mossman on a polar bear is something none of us knew we needed, but now we know we can't live without. And just so people know, 92 people watching, Mossman is not my invention. It is an invention of Ted from Hella Dope Toys. That's why he does a commercial for Hella Dope Toys. But I do need to reach out to him again because it's time for another commercial for Hella Dope Toys. And I need him to start doing some stuff for the Punkathon. So I need some more Mossman commercials just for that. And I know everyone but Tony enjoys Mossman. Everyone except for, I think Tony secretly loves Mossman. He just doesn't want to admit it. So quickly, I want to say, so my oldest daughter living in California, she sent me a picture of a bumper sticker. I'll try and remember it for next week. She literally just sent it, and it's a picture of Darth Vader, and it says, "Don't blame me. I voted Cobra." I'd say I want that bumper sticker, but I don't put bumper stickers on my car. I think people that put bumper stickers on their car are they're evil people. Anyway, that's it. That's our sponsor, Hella Dope Toys. All right, so let's get into a little bit of toy news, and that is Masters of the Universe here. All right, and look, it's a big giant Mossman. So Masterverse is doing a I believe it comes out tomorrow. So I believe 12 Eastern Standard Time, Masterverse Mossman. Now I gotta say, this looks really, really good. Look, Legend Series jumping in right away saying, I need this Mossman. And I don't hate stickers. I hate bumper stickers. I hate any car that has too many stickers on their car. Especially like people with new cars, I'll never understand. Like, oh my gosh. Oh, it's seriously one of those things that drives me nuts. But it's your car. You do whatever you want with it. I just don't have to look at the back of it for a short bit. No, Mr. Wonderful says, oh, finally, it's wonderful in here. It was better before, but I'm glad you joined. Anyway, I think this thing looks pretty good. This is one of those things where I really wish Ed wasn't on his deliverance vacation with his buddies right now. Because this seems like one of those things that even though it's a Moss Man, it really has like a Yeti vibe to it, right? It has that nice little, um, Bigfoot look to him. And he's not as big as some of those. I think this is like 8.5 inches tall. I believe there's a shot of it later, but it looks really good. And I think the color scheme works really well with this. And if you're a customizer, you could easily go ahead, paint it up, do it brown, do it black, do it white for an abominable snowman if that's what you wanted. So, look at Crop Star Entertainment says no car should have stickers. I don't like them. You know what I like? You know what I hate more than that? I hate the people that have political bumper stickers. Wait, let me finish. When I see vote Bush, vote Obama, Biden, like, dude, it's over. Take the fucking thing off your take the damn thing off, right? That is long gone. I don't know. I spend way too much money on my car that I don't want it littered with stickers. I guess if you want to, and I'm not saying you do because you're kind of like your statement there is saying you agree with me. So, Dan Olton says Mossman was always made in Beastman Buck. Yeah, and that's why Tony said he hated him. I don't believe that. But hey, you know what? That's all they did, right? I mean, that's how you get around. You repurpose stuff, you repaint stuff, you make new figures out of them, right? And G.I. Jetman jumping in here saying, hey to Travis, which he meant Mr. Wonderful. We got Mark Hartness jumping in here saying, have you found Mossman? Not Yeti. I don't know. I found Mossman here. I got a Mossman. So, but I think this figure looks really good. And again, it's going to be much cheaper. This thing's like $35. And here you can see how big it is. Now, again, this is, comparing it to Masterverse figures, which are already standing at, I think, over 7 inches. So these are larger figures, and he's built on a much bigger buck. So I think this is a really good figure, just in general, how it's done. Cressio Crow says, will this also be a Beastman buck? See, the buck maybe, but nowadays, see, and I think everyone knows this. Master of the Universe they were notorious for just repainting the faces, right? To make a new character. G.I. Joe did it at the beginning, but they kind of stopped after series 1. I know they still sprinkled some in there, but you didn't get that. So, and then we have my nemesis Bees Battleground jumping in here saying a very heroic in size. that's what you tell your women. It's a nice size. Tony says it's definitely a Beastman buck. Yeah, I have the first Masterverse Beastman, I think. The deluxe one. I found it when we went to Florida for like $6. It was great. Joe ARH jumping in here, 6 inches is plenty big too. That's what I hear. But again, I think this actually looks really good. And again, if you don't collect Master of the Universe, but you're into these different types of beasts, or mythical creatures, I think you might work with Operation Monster Force. I think what Mattel has done has really made a lot of these figures so much better since the start of them. And I thought they actually started off pretty good, but they've perfected the face sculpts a little bit better. The articulation has gotten better, the way they move, the accessories, and they've kept them at a nice price. And I think this bodes well for the DC line as they get it right. So hopefully, hopefully, it does make it that much better for everyone. But yeah, this figure in itself, again, it goes up tomorrow. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think tomorrow at 12 p.m. on Mattel Creations, and I think it's $35. So once again, a large figure that you're getting at a decent price. So 8.25 inches high, and they're not going to the top of the of his shoulder piece. It looks like it's to the top of his head. So if this is something that you're into, check it out. If you're a Motu fan, you're just a Mythical Creatures fan. I really wish Ed was here to see if he's going to get something like this. And again, if you're someone like, either Tony's Figs or, Legend series where you do paints, maybe you're going to go in and you're going to paint this figure up. You're going to make him to however you want him, whether you want him to be a Yeti, whether you want him to be a Sasquatch. So, look, Tony even says like that Moss Man looks badass. Maybe you should get this, and then you can try and recreate the picture of him walking like you. Beast Battlegrounds says, has there been other Masterverse Mossman besides Wave 1? I don't know. There's more than enough Motu guys in here right now. Beardy, I think that is something they definitely miss out on. Like, I don't think everything should be flocked, but I can see you not doing a flocked version, but you should do a flocked version of this. You should also, when you do a Panther, you should do a flocked version of Panther, right? Like, there are specific characters from our childhood that made flocking real, and that was Panther and Mossman, right? I can't really think of anything else that I think like, oh my god, this was flocked. So I thought it was awesome. Actually, I was about to grab the Panther right here. I have the flocked Panther still downstairs. But yeah. So TC says, I think the other Mossman was Revelation, but it's still Masterverse, because even the Revelations were still Masterverse. Thanos Copter, he should be able to say. Actually, Brick says there's been quite a few. Yeah, for some odd reason, and maybe because I never really got into, the Masterverse, but they seem, when they throw things out, you just kind of, they get lost in the fray. My personal opinion, they tend to really get lost in the fray. So, and then Dan Olton says they did do both Flock Panther, not in Origins. They did the same with Origin Mossman. Yeah, but I mean, again, I like I said, I do have Panther, the Flocked Panther, and now I have Flocked Mossman. But I don't think they should do every one of them, because not everyone likes flocked. You go and you watch Robo. Robo does not like flocked. It freaks him out. It happens, right? Like, there's some things that people just don't like. I can fully understand that. I'm not bringing spider shit in my house. But here's the box for it. Here's I think this is the cover. They used to do covers. This might be the back of it, actually. There's kind of opening up. I'm sorry, you kind of look at this, and this is definitely gives you Poison Ivy vibes from Batman. And this here I thought was actually pretty interesting. It looks like they kind of gave him his own stand. Obviously, it's the box. I don't know if they just folded the box down, but it looks like maybe like this is in the box, which I think would be absolutely awesome. That you kind of create your own, they give you like this own background, and you just kind of fold it over, because not everyone displays stuff in a fighting position. Like, I try and do a lot of my stuff like that. So I think that this is actually really cool. Legend series says, I love the Masterverse box art. It's the best in my opinion. I've said before, I think all the artwork, with anything Masters of the Universe, whether it be the Origins or Masterverse, the art is second to none. But doing stuff like this is awesome because not everyone wants to have stuff in fighting or in dioramas. So this kind of gives you your own display, and I think it looks really good. It totally pops. So anyway, Bees Battleground says, I have the Mega Constructs Moss Man. He's flocked. Yeah, if you can flock a Mega Constructs, you can flock anything. Brick Something says, that stand thingy is in the box. The accessories are packed in it there, I believe. Yeah, when I was looking at it, I kind of thought it kind of reminds me of what G.I. Joe Classified was doing when they had the little I can't think of the name. The little box that they had. I'm totally blanking on it. It's kind of the same concept. I'm not saying they stole it from G.I. Joe, obviously. It's just a very easy concept, but I like it. Again, it's just something different. It's putting a little bit of extra care. It's putting a little bit of extra care into a figure that isn't really going to cost them too much more. Now, quickly, there was someone else that said, who was it that said they don't care about being flocked? I thought there was someone else that said they don't care about being flocked. And again, I don't think every one of them should be flocked because there are some people that don't like it, and other people that you realize it's going to cost a little bit more, and it's going to rub off. So and that's perfectly fine. You don't have to have everything, but make a special version of it. That's what I'm saying. So now we're coming to an end, man. We're definitely coming to an end with this, and that is his Batman line. I'm sorry, his DC line. But I did see this dropped here. The Batman the Animated Series. It's a Joker, Harley Quinn, I believe 2-pack, like a lovers 2-pack or something. I think the colors look really good on it. So I had to throw this in here. She has her little Joker, her Joker staff there, or whatever you want to call it. Your Batman cards, just a few different hands. Again, these figures have been done over. I think they've been repainted more than a couple times, but I think it works. And this guy is really. I mean, I think he's going to try and get as much out of the DC property, and I don't blame him, as possible, right? He's had it for as long as he has. There are people that they want stuff. They want teams completed. He's not going to have a chance to do it, but he certainly is pumping them out. And I believe that as long as they were done into production before he loses the license, he can still sell them. So, listen, it's Uncle Todd, right? It's Uncle Todd. You get what you get with it. Brick says Joker looks a little hunched over. It's probably because they're trying to stand him, if anything. I don't think he looks hunched. It just it's that weird Batman the Animated Series look. And where was that? Yeah, Same Time Toys. Shane is saying that face is awesome. I agree. I think that Joker face looks really good. Again, it's not something that I need, but I think it looks pretty good. And again, I think that this animated series stuff, he's really nailed it with what the figures are. I think he did a really good. Mark Hartness says, never saw Harley with a staff like that, but yes, I did see Jester. I had one in Crisis on 2 Earths. Again, it's Uncle Todd. He does things as he wants. Matt O'Brien jumping in here saying, "Happy Monday, folks. Sorry I'm late, but work was long today." Hey, you know what? No one ever has to apologize for coming in late. I'm happy that anyone shows up to listen to little old me and wrap up their Monday night. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. And Thanos says, "I recently picked up Christmas Joker at DD's." I don't know what DD's is. What is DD's? I think that must be one of those stores maybe we don't have. Just trying to think if it's something that I don't know. But they are very shiny. To add to what Allison said, they are pretty shiny. But I definitely, they do look cool. Okay, it's a discount. Triple is a Dirk Diggler. You know, coming from Thanos, it could have been. Bobby Wold says, "Didn't you have that staff when she teamed up with Batman and it was like a grappling hook?" It looks familiar. I mean, that looks familiar for sure. So, but there you go. If you need a Joker Harley Quinn 2-pack, the Mad Love 2-pack, it's yours. You can have it for I don't know. I know what the price is. See, it's the Mad Love 2-pack. And then we have Batman. This is a gold label. It's a McFarlane toy store. Again, here's an exclusive. Now, is this just I mean, I know we've seen a similar Batman like this. This is just like a mix and match once again, painted a little bit different. The bat symbol looks a little different. Do you think Mattel will give us nearly as many Batmans as Uncle Todd has? TC asking, that's a wired cape. It almost looks like it is a plastic cape. And that's actually how he's balancing. Because that'd be a real, I mean, I don't know. Oh my God. Check out them bat knee pads. Holy shit, they are. I didn't realize he does have bat knee pads. I you know, again, I may have noticed other than it goes like this.
I don't go through all the graphics before the show.
Brick says these would all have been better if McFarlane flocked them, flackerized. You know what? Brick, I didn't know I needed a flocked Batman until just now. Now I know I need a flocked Batman. That flocking cape. Oh man, a flocking wired cape. And you know, he would, you know how he is too. He'd get on, he'd talk about it. He talked about how the cape is flocked because it gives it more depth. People have been asking for it. He's a hell of a salesman. You got to give him that, man. MTC says just flocked underwear. So you just want the underwear part to be flocked. A Swamp Thing Batman. You could do, yeah, of a flocked Swamp Thing. Yeah, Jokerized flocked Batman. I'm in. See, the stupider you get with Jokerized flocked, more people like us will buy stuff like that because it's so absurd that they're just like, you know what? Yeah. And Tony's mad that it's a new 52. All right. And Stanley says, I'm muting TV while wife has a work Zoom. Well, could you mute it next time that she falls asleep and starts snoring and we all can hear it? Oh no, that's muting for just kidding, Stanley. All right. So this next batch of figures, this next batch of or company is the company that is making me excited to see Star Trek figures. I can't believe I'm saying this. I truly cannot believe. And just Jeff, where are you right now? Where are you right now? Because I'm the one that has said numerous times, you know, Star Trek figures, they just don't translate to collectors all that much. And I say the same thing about Ghostbusters. But Nacelle, who literally he's that big of a Star Trek fan, he named his company after the warp nacelles. Man, oh man, these figures look really good. And I did look, and they are based. They do say they're 1/12 figures. Somebody said they were 1/10 figures, but they said they're 1/12. So I'm hoping these are 6-inch figures because I definitely want some. I cannot believe I'm saying this. So we have Captain Garrett, who I believe is from the Enterprise B, right? Or which is the Enterprise C. I forget exactly which one she was. Okay. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Matthew. Matthew just messaged me something. So okay. So anyway, this looks really good, and the accessories are so fucking cool. So this is the first wave of figures that we're going to be getting, right? So here's everything that she comes with. Her beat up face after it gets kind of destroyed here. 2 different types of phasers, her tricorder, and then her tablet. And these things are awesome. Yes, yeah, Matthew. It's the C because the B is Cameron. He was the captain of that one. and the B where they I still like in Generations where they say something like something starts happening and Kirk stands up in his chair and Scotty's like, something wrong with your chair? Anyway. And then we have Captain, is it Jellicoe? You know what's fun? I never knew his name. I mean, I've seen this episode when he takes over, and this guy is kind of a dick. But again, these accessories are just, again, we can continue to go back to how people complain on the Snowcat and nobody wants this and nobody wants a kitchenette. But man, I keep looking at all this stuff and I'm like, this is exactly what Marvel Legends needs to do. Throw in little stuff for dioramas. That is your world building right there. Mr. Magnus, did he beat Shane up? I don't know. Yeah, Tony, the accessories are perfect for photography, or if you're just doing dioramas, right? You know, before I ever started trying to do any type of photography, I just like doing dioramas. But look at this. It's a fucking fish tank. And then there's some paintings or whatever it is and a book. Like, this is just really cool, and it can go with anything. And this is exactly what Marvel Legends needs to do, right? Where we understand that there's a licensing fee, and that's why you get less with Marvel Legends. So create a bunch of different diorama pieces where you can paint them a little bit different and give them in there so people can use it for G.I. Joe, Valiverse, Operation Monster Force, stuff like this. Stuff like this will make people buy this just for that, right? Yeah, Jetman says in Scotty's voice, I can't do it, Captain. I don't know if I do a good Brick something says very different audience, but Trek folks eat up nerdy detail accessories like these. But I'm not a Trek fan. Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm not a Trek fan. I love this stuff. I think it is awesome. That's why, like, when people complain about the Marvel Legends that come with the comic books, I'm like, that's exactly it, right? You gave everyone a comic book and a different comic book. It's something to add to it. So, but I think that this is awesome. And Cropstar says, I agree, saves me from buying and learning 3D printing. It does. Anyway. And then we get this guy here. I gotta say, and so here's one of the things that you have to look at, and this is what I think Super 7 was trying to do. And what I mean by that was when they were doing the stuff with like with Disney, and this is kind of what they do with all their properties when it comes to their Ultimate figures, is that they give you some weird characters. So then you can kind of figure out who's coming. So this is the kid that gets killed. You know, he gets killed. So you know you're going to get a Scotty in this version. And again, I think this is awesome. Like you can already see what you're going to be getting. And again, a bunch of different accessories that can be used for all kinds of things. Sure, the phaser is what it is, but everything else can be used for anything else in any line that's a 6-inch line. And a matter of fact, this figure, again, can be used for a lot of different things if someone's coming back from space. Brick says, I totally know some people would love this stuff. I just mean a larger portion of the Star Trek audience would appreciate this versus, say, Legends collectors. Yeah. Okay. And again, Star Trek is very storytelling too. Very storytelling. So I do understand what you're saying. And again, I'm not saying give a fish tank and everything, but again, we've heard people complain that you can't world build in 1/12 scale, which is the biggest bullshit I've ever heard. It just takes up more space. God knows. True Player says, I could use that pen looking thing for a Cold Slither microphone. Same time toy, I think you're going to get a melted Spock. All right. So this was the first one that I seen, and I was like, I need this. And then it's Captain Sulu. And you notice it says Captain Sulu. I think most of us know that Sulu was supposed to be captain a long time before any of this happened. And Mr. Shatner nixed it because he didn't want anyone upstaging him. Not a big shocker there. Sulu is still to this day he's one of the best Star Trek characters. And I think this thing works. I mean, it's so cool just to have a Sulu just kind of sitting there. But I like these figures in general. So I'm probably going to pick up a couple just to see what they're like. And I didn't think that I'd ever be saying I'm going to pick up Star Trek figures. And I know there's been a few people that aren't happy that they're a different size than the Playmates. Playmates has tried doing them again in that same style, but they were a little bit bigger, so it doesn't necessarily work. This is like completely different, and now hopefully you can match them with your Joes and stuff, because I believe they're 6-inch figures. But this figure is awesome. And then we get Tuvix. And again, more awesome accessories for a character I could care less about because he's in Voyager. But again, you have this cool little plant that I'm assuming they found on another planet. He's got his little his container here. Now, again, this is what would work. I think that this company here in Nacelle, they would be awesome for Battlestar Galactica. I've said before, I would love a Battlestar Galactica. And I'm talking about the sci-fi show, not the original one. But this is cool. I look at this and like if I see this on clearance, maybe just for the plant, I would buy it. That's how bad we've gotten as collectors that we start looking at stuff. And it's like, oh, if I ever see that on clearance, that plant would go really cool in some sort of picture. But yeah, Mr. Matt, I think that was Chuck. Oh, you're talking to someone. But anyway, but again, I think this is actually pretty cool, to be honest. And then we get Wee Yoon, and this is from Deep Space Nine. So I know this has a place in Matthew's heart because Matthew loves Deep Space Nine. He feels that's the best Star Trek series. I disagree, but DS9 sure did get a lot better when they got the Defiant. And if I'm correct, is that like a half-eaten pizza? And is that like a it's like a half-eaten pizza? Who doesn't want that? And a little like, I don't know, maybe that's like the George Foreman pizza grill, and then you have, you know, a little microphone or an eye. Like, there's just such cool things to be done here, and again, they also look really good too. So, I didn't think I'd actually ever be excited about Star Trek, and these are ones that, in my opinion, they don't need to be set up in in specific action poses. And look at this. Cobra 8877 saying DS9 is the best. I disagree, but hey, Allison says this is a weird Joker figure. And then 3 Star says, "Uh-oh, a half-eaten pizza Star Trek has crossover with TMT before." You know what we need? I know Ed had talked about, like, he made a comment on his Facebook page about like, he made a comment on his page about actual exclusives for Joe Fest. He should do exclusive food from the restaurant. I would first start off with the pizza, and then I move to those little cheese balls, which are absolutely fucking amazing. And then we could have like iced coffee for GI Bro. GI Bro asked at the restaurant for iced coffee, and they said, "We don't have iced coffee." And he said, "Do you have coffee? Do you have ice? Then you have iced coffee." True story. Anyway, and then we have Archer. And this is a nice little buck for pretty much anything, right? And he's got his tricorders, his different phasers. I never watched Enterprise. He has again, like all of this stuff. I just love all this stuff. Like, Nacelle would be smart to sell an accessory pack of all this different stuff, because they'd probably sell more of that than any of these figures. 3 Star says, "You'd be surprised how often that happens trying to order iced coffee." Oh, I wouldn't. That's the whole thing. It was just funny watching Rich ask for iced coffee and them say no, they don't have it. And he's like, "Do you have coffee? Do you have ice? Well, you have iced coffee." And then he showed us how you make iced coffee. It's like, "Look here, you have ice, and I have coffee. Like, now I have iced coffee." Yeah. Oh, I know what Enterprise was. I know it's the prequel. I just never watched it. I think one of my issues with Enterprise was I knew it was a prequel, but everything was so far advanced compared to the original that aesthetically, and I understand why you didn't. I understand why you wouldn't do it that way, but aesthetically, it was so different that it's like, I'm supposed to look at this as a prequel, and I know that when we get to the original series, everything is so archaic because of the technology. And again, I do understand you were talking about what 20 years, 30 years in between them. So I understand that, but it makes it very difficult. Where you watch something like Star Wars and anything before A New Hope, they make sure that aesthetically it fits. So, but that's just me, right? Again, I have some really weird things. And then we have the Valkyries, the Valkyries. And look, she comes with a whole play set. This is a whole play set. I look at this and you're like, this is a bat station. If you're into G.I. Joe, this is a bat station right here. But yeah, I look at Nacelle and it really seems like Nacelle, and when you listen to Brian, I don't know how to say his last name. I don't know what his last name is. He's not looking to make a lot of money off this. I don't think he's the only. I don't think he's the only person doing that. I believe that there's other people not trying to make a lot of money off stuff. But he's not trying to make a lot of money off stuff, so he's throwing in a bunch of stuff. And as long as he turns a slight profit, then he's happy. And he's a huge Star Trek fan. Like he actually, again, I said earlier, he named the company after this, after the warp nacelle. So, but again, you look at all this stuff; it's really cool. The face sculpts are really good. So, what are the price points on these?
I don't go through all the graphics before the show.
If someone has it, I believe they're under $35. I believe they're around $30. That's the other thing. And he talks about price points. He talked about it when he came with those five POA figures for $5.99. He's not making a lot of money off them, but he is turning a profit. It was basically a big fuck you to Super 7. I mean, that's exactly how I saw it. GI Bro, iced coffee. It's a simple recipe. Again, it was just it was just so funny. You're like, do you have ice? All right. And then you got it and you're like, look, here's ice, here's coffee. Now I've made iced coffee. I don't know. Someone look up the price. I mean, I could do something like this, but that's more work for me. And I spent enough time trying to figure out this dumb show. I think they're under $35 though. I think they're actually like $30. But someone do some work for me and figure it out. Maybe I'll actually start writing that down. I think I tried that once and then I kind of got lost doing it. And was like, eh. All right. Allison says Lawrence can't Google. It's against his contract. Well, I'm busy doing this. I guess I could do it right here. Let's see here. Nacelle Star Trek figures. $32.99. Or the Nacelle store has them for $28.99. So $29. Buy it now. This is a pre-order. I don't know if they're up anywhere else. So they're $29 at the Nacelle store. Now I don't know how much shipping and handling is going to cost you. So you may want to look in or wait till it shows up somewhere else. BBTS has them for $33. So my guess is they're probably doing the same thing that. Well, no, maybe this isn't. I'm not sure what BBTS has. Anyway, they're $29 in a cell. So go there and buy them. All right. So Boss Fight Studios, they're like that little company that is pumping out some figures that people really like. And even though I don't have a huge interest in these, I don't like the aesthetics of them. I believe this is more from the cartoon or from the comic. But they are dropping some Hellboy figures now. I have no interest in the Hellboy for sure. I just don't like the way that he looks. And I know before someone says, so Tripwire says they are 110 scale. So I read somewhere else that they were 112 scale. So I don't. I'm trying to see. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, it does say. Okay, so it was on a. You're right. They are 110 scale, which is stupid. Again, why are you doing 110 scale? Doesn't make any sense. No, you're right, Tripwire. I'm looking at their site, but it was another toy site that I was on that said it was 112 scale. That's why I was kind of shocked, and that's why I remembered, because I thought that they were 110 scale, but I'd actually never looked at this. So, G.I. Jetman says, "How much do you charge for a spot on the Pumpkin?" I don't charge anything. I just want people to donate as much as you can, and if it's $5, it's $5. Like seriously, like just so you guys know, when we do the stream, if you can donate $5 and that's all you can donate, awesome. If you can donate $1, awesome. I mean, I have no, I don't get. I'm not gonna be worried. But what I will do is I'll have open time to have people on. I will send out links for people, or if people want to jump on. So, but there will be different times that people can jump on. So, all right. But anyway, here's your Hellboy, and they look good for what they are. Now, again, someone might tell me this is how Hellboy's supposed to look. Not a huge fan of this. His tiny little legs, his huge body up. But again, if it looks like it's supposed to, then awesome. Allison says, Lawrence will make sure that you don't pay a lot for that muffler. All right. Brick here says, I love Hellboy and BPRD, but they just won't fit. They just won't fit so well on my shelf style wise, so I'll enjoy them from afar. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. Not that I'm really worried about like fitting stuff in aesthetically, because obviously I have so much different stuff. But like I said, to me, not something I really want. But I think this looks really good for what it is. And again, I know nothing about Hellboy other than the couple movies that I saw about it. So he has a hand. I don't know why he has a hand. He has his big gun. I do know that that's iconic, and I know that his big hand, his big glove, or whatever that is iconic on that too. So, but very tiny legs, very big upper body. He definitely skips leg day, but he does not miss chest day. And he works on one arm day too. But here's everything that he comes with. I'm assuming that hand has to mean something, right? So if you know what it is, please in the comments tell me, because I have no idea what the hand is. But he's got his big pistol. They give him a fist, which that definitely makes sense. I'm not big into fists all the time. I'm never into fisting, to be honest. That's one of the creepiest things on the internet. He's 7.5 inches tall, so he's a big fucker. So M. Hatfield says, how does one go about donating? Sorry, I'm kind of new. No, dude, don't worry about it. Like that's don't need to apologize for that. So on the 25th, October 24th and 25th, I'll be doing a 36-hour stream. Everything goes to Toys for Tots. You can either send a super chat, which, as many of you know, if you send a super chat, YouTube takes their cut. I do not have Matthew looked into it. You need like 10,000 subs. I'm not at 10,000 subs yet. Hopefully by next year, I'll be there. But you can either send a super chat or you can send directly to my PayPal account, which I will give out. Again, you said you're new here, so I know a lot of new people might be a little worried, like, hey, do I really want to send this guy, money through PayPal? And that's understandable. That's why I do. That's why I do it through super chats also. I just feel like for how big the channel is, for how known I am, people feel I'm trustworthy enough that if they're like, I don't want to give YouTube any money, I'm going to donate it directly to you. So if you donate it to me, and then I go to Sergeant Red's, which is one of the best toy stores in the world, in all honesty, but probably the best toy store in Michigan. John will do he gives us a discount on all the toys that we buy. Last year, I'll just bring this up really quick here. Last year we raised $3,025. This is the receipt. That is the receipt and how thick it is for everything that we bought. And I forget how many action figures that we bought. And it's not just boys' toys, it's girls' toys too. So, but there'll be more of it leading up, and we have 2 months to get to it. It's again, I gotta prepare for it. But again, if you donate $5, awesome. If you donate 100, even better. But I don't knock anyone for whatever they can donate, but it is the day that I will beg for super chats because it doesn't go to me. Andrew Taylor says the blue hen is from a comic story. Okay. Warchest says it's the right hand of Doom his father cut off his real hand and gave him that one. It also opens the portal to the other world or hell. Okay. And M Hatfield, thank you again. I have 7,500 subs, and I know not all of them are active subs, but you got to think about this. If you have 7,500 subs, if every single person donated just $1, you have well over that math is actually easy to do. Over $7,000 to walk into Sergeant Red's to donate. It goes straight to Toys for Tots, because Sergeant Red's, again, it's the local toy store here. He's a former Marine, so he's been working with them forever. So, but yeah, I'm definitely. Let me just say, I have to start preparing now. So, and then Twin Fig says my favorite store is Sergeant Red's. We got a lot of good toy stores here in Michigan, but Sergeant Red's, and again, they're both great people, or I wouldn't be working with them. So, all right, now we get this big this big pig. I know nothing about it. I think this thing looks pretty awesome. It also comes with a big chest, a big war chest. But again, I know nothing about this. I know nothing what this is. I know it looks cool, and I like to cover the Boss Fight Studio stuff. So all this stuff, again, for the most part, has looked awesome. So but you look at this thing, it's cool. And does anyone know what the hell his name is? Yeah, Bill says that we don't have crap in Utah. Again, I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky to have a lot of good toy stores, even if Sergeant Red's wasn't around. And I watched when they did a walkthrough of their store. There was 5 other people on camera, and I watched all their faces dropped, and that's when I really realized how good I have it. That I have such a good store that anyone can go. Grogach, I don't know. It says why did YouTube put you in 144p? I don't know. I shouldn't be having any issues with my signal right now. I mean, I'm not over here. Today I haven't had any issues. So, But here's everything this guy comes with: this giant hammer. He's got a chalice. He's got this chest. He's only 4.5 inches tall. But this thing's damn fucking cool. Like, first off, the pig looks cool. I think you can fit that with a lot of things. But once again, here I am looking at the accessories. And that's when, I'm realizing what a problem I have, because I keep looking at more and more, accessories. Tim H says Signal is good. Yeah. Thank you. I always have it on, and anyone that uses StreamYard, they know it's really weird, but StreamYard, they give you the signal strength, and I haven't had any issues today. I have in the past, so it may just be your computer right now. Hopefully that's all. But here I'm actually looking pretty good. So, Jed Jetman, have a wonderful night. Thanks for stopping in for a little bit. And then we got Mr. DeMark here. Man, I miss Toys R Us. I'm sick of buying online. To me, there is something very special about toy hunting and going into a store and finding it. I like that I can just buy stuff online, but there was a reason why I kept going to all these Walmarts, because I wanted to find the 2-pack and Crystal Ball in store. There's something special about it. But after a while, after going into, I went into at least 15 different Walmarts in a week and a half, 2 weeks time. And I'm talking 15 different Walmarts, because I'm on the road all day. And I'm not talking about how many times I went back to the same Walmarts. And I'm like, I don't care. And I asked Baldy, he had an extra one. And then I asked Matthew to pick up the 2-pack for me, and he shipped it out. Because after a while, you're like, I'm done walking in and walking out. It's a pain in the ass. And I only saw that G.I. Joe display one time. Now, it may have come up this weekend, but I didn't bother going in since Friday morning. I don't care anymore. I'm done. But yeah, so. And Brick is saying, Punk, definitely check out the Hellboy comics someday. Like the first few trade paperbacks, I think you'd appreciate the tone and the way Hellboy, the character, is written. No, again, I'm not saying anything negative about that at all. There's a lot of stuff that I know that I would like, and that's why I stay away from a lot of stuff. But maybe one day, maybe I'll actually go to the stop at the library where you can actually take stuff out. I've done it before, so. Tim H says scalpers ruin toy hunting in stores. Had a doctor's appointment, had a chance to stop at a Walmart to check Crystal Ball. There were 3 guys scavenging all the aisles looking from toys to 2 p.m. on a Wednesday. I think they've always been there. I think it's just, the scalping is nothing new. It's just been one of those things where now it's more people see it because of Instagram and social media. I remember back in 95, 96, being at Target, and there's 5 people there waiting. I understand. I do understand what you're saying, but now these companies, now these places, Target and Walmart, they put stuff out throughout the day. So being there first thing in the morning doesn't always help. But it is crazy that people are doing that. Because for the love of God, this stuff is going to be readily available. That's why I don't understand why people are going after these some of this G.I. Joe stuff. It's easily to get. Tim H says, yeah, agreed. End up paying $50 for Chris Ball. I realize I'll never get it by lucky at Walmart. See, that's why I tell people don't do that, because it may just, they're going to get an abundance of them, and then all those scalpers are going to be stuck with them, and they'll probably return them. But I know I've had to tell 2 people that I'm pretty good friends with, stop doing that. And when you don't get something right away, don't jump on and buy it, because more than likely it's never going to go up at a higher price than that. It's probably never going to go up at a higher price than that. So just wait, and it will probably come down if you don't even find it in there. So anyway, then there's this guy. And this guy is actually pretty cool looking. I think this would fit in perfectly with your Operation Monster Force. I feel like anything that's kind of like off the wall that is a 1/12 scale figure can fit in with Operation Monster Force, right? You can just make it work. And aesthetically, I think it works really well with it. So he's got his 45 pistol. He's got his Tommy gun. It looks like he has a claw on his chest. I know nothing about him. But here's everything. He comes with 6.5 inches tall, so he's actually a fairly big figure. But yeah, this is actually pretty damn cool. Commander Unicron says, I found Beachhead and Quick in Walmart. I felt euphoric. Crystal Ball, though, negative on Richard King. I got Walmart hit, aka canceled. Yeah, I didn't want to go down to Walmart. I have a new today. I never had a problem with Walmart until this whole Crystal Ball thing. It's the only time I've had a problem. And I know some people, they find that hard to believe. Baldy actually said, I feel like you're sitting on a throne of lies. But yeah. But anyway, there it is. And again, I think this will fit in perfectly with your Operation Monster Force, if that's what you want to use it for. Again, I feel like I keep saying that will fit in with Operation Monster Force. Awesome. I say that an awful lot now. And Brick says, honestly, I think storytelling of Hellboy is something that must have inspired the storytelling of Operation Monster Force. I mean, I've seen the movies, and I kind of see what you're saying, because it's kind of a mix and match of mythical creatures and stuff. And it actually makes sense. It really does. Yeah, I can definitely see it. 3-star says stuff has to be able to fit in with Operation Monster Force, because there's not much Operation Monster Force to fit with. You didn't pay for it, so who cares? I will continue to say it. They haven't taken a dime out of your pocket, so don't worry about it. It's coming. You know it's coming. But I do understand the frustration of waiting for it. I do. And 3-star, this isn't at you. There's a couple other guys that I've gone back and forth with that I'm friends with. But you also can't really, again, I'm glad I haven't paid for it, or else I'd be more aggravated. Like, let's say you backed a couple Kickstarters 3 years ago and you haven't seen anything. Or let's say like you bought a Rumbler over a month ago, and the shipping label was created a month ago, and they still haven't done shit. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do about that now. So I'm getting a little getting more than aggravated with Mezco on that. All right. These are up for pre-order at BBTS, and that is the Savage Crucibles. Not very much to show off, but they got this Piranha guys. If you like mythical creatures, if you like mythology, stuff like this, and you don't have a Savage Crucible yet, you need to get it. You need to pick one up. They are excellent, excellent figures. They fixed the feet problem. That was one of my biggest issues. And I commend them for it. I told him at Joe Fest. I don't know of anyone else that would actually redesign the feet to make, I don't say make people happy, but make them so they're, because I probably would have never bought them again if they would have kept with those stupid feet. And I know Matthew's going to say, I pose my figures. You can still pose them, but they tend to fall over really easily. Mort just says, I hear Savage Crucible figs go really well with those Bible figures. I believe they're made by the same company. I try not to buy Bible stuff because it might burn my hand. um, 3-star says, "Fuck you, still haven't gotten." No. And the last thing that I had heard was we're behind. It will go out. As we get to it. You created a shipping label 1 month ago, July 25th. 1 month ago, they created, and I've sent 3 different emails. And this is, I'm kind of at the point where I might have to say, dude, either give me my fucking money back or send me the fucking Rumbler. This is my YouTube channel. It's not the biggest fucking YouTube channel in the world, but I will fucking go out every single goddamn fucking week. I will make fucking videos and I will fucking destroy you. I will completely dog you as much as I can. And you know what? Legend series, what? He tells a story about getting Conan or ordering Conan, and they completely fucked him over. And he said, "I'll never buy another Mezco figure." So this is a $325 item that I paid for that they said will start shipping as soon as SDCC is over. All right. Label was created. Awesome. Bobby B's like, yeah, mine's on the way. Boom. Bobby got his. Awesome. That was over 3 weeks ago. Our labels were created on the same fucking day. And it's again, this is bullshit. And I understand there's always this Mezco has this tendency to create a label and then it doesn't ship out for a month, but it's been shipping out. And you can now supposedly go out and just buy it. It's just available. So it's definitely fucking aggravating. Random jumping in here saying, "What's up, Larry in chat? The smell of defeat." But yeah. And Ultra Mensch is saying you are impactful in the community. That's the thing. I'm not the biggest guy in the world. Well, physically, I'm definitely not the biggest guy. The channel is popular enough. And I don't want to be that guy because my goal is never to buy something to destroy it or to tear it down or to tell you how bad it is. That's not why I buy stuff. I buy stuff because I want it. But this is a company that they were supposed to send me a replacement rifle for the Duke and his backpack. That was in October. They said, give us, 8 to 12 weeks. And in the final email, when I messaged them, their answer was, we can just, you can just send the figure back and we can refund your money. Like, no, fuck you. That's not what I want. You said you would replace this. And I even told them in the last email, hey, you know what? You have the worst customer service. I gave up on you sending me this. I just want to know what's going on with this. And the fact that you guys can't even just give me an answer. And that's when their answer came back is, we're really backed up on stuff. So it's kind of like at that point where it's like the next email is going to be, hey, this is my channel. I have a large enough community that I will fucking make videos about this because you're not sending me. And again, it's not a $25 figure. You're talking about $350 after shipping and everything. Well, I take that taxes. Shipping was free on it. Anyway, back to Savage Crucibles, who actually ships their shit. But these are all up on BBTS. I believe they're $35 to $45. But yeah. 44D4 says Mezco needs X-Lax. They need something. They need someone to fucking just package the thing. The shipping label's already created. All you gotta do is slap it on a fucking box and ship it. Ugh. Yeah, this is really bad Lenny behavior. I'm sorry. I don't ever want to be that, like, do you know who I am guy? But, you're kind of like, I have a channel that can put a big light on your shit. And most people already know, but there are a lot of people coming to the community that will be like, I'm never gonna fucking buy Mezco. That's why everyone says if you buy fucking, like, if it's not a Mezco exclusive, buy it from BBTS, so you don't get fucked. You know, Warchest says, "Don't tell Punk, but I hear the rumbling goes well with Hellboy and Monster Force figs. It would go great with Operation Monster Force." Anyway, so here's your Savage Crucibles, and then here's this guy kind of looks like the this guy looks like the rabbits that Baldy keeps showing on Circle of Jerks. Tony, we may have to bring this up so Baldy can compare it to one of the rabbits with that weird ass disease. Clint says best customer service is Mondo. Well, I don't buy Mondo, so I wouldn't know, but I'll take your word for it. Oh, that would be fucking nice. They cancel my goddamn order. All right, you know what? Nope. Get away. All right. I'm gonna take a breather really quick. You're gonna listen to Mossman for a short break because this is 11 o'clock. I need to sit back and just take a quick breath right here. So here you go.
Oh, hey guys, what's going on?
Mossman, what are you doing back here?
Oh, you see, so Skeletor, he had to go to the grocery store. He had to go buy more barbecue Pringle chips. And so he's put me in charge here for a little bit. In charge of y'all. He said, man, Mossman, I have to go to the grocery store, so I need to put you in charge of Snake Mountain. Ha 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 ha.
Yes, that's Skeletor. That's Skeletor. Right.
Skeletor said since I was in charge, I could use the credit card and maybe go online and buy some action figures for myself.
Oh, some action figures sound kind of nice. Yes. Maybe we can go to Big Ben.
Yeah, Beastman, we don't say that around here. We go to HellDopeToys.com. They have the best prices in town, and they ship everything in one business day. One business day, Beastman. That means I buy it, and it comes to my house super fast, and they pack it all real nice. So when I go to do my YouTube reviews for my 5 subscribers, I'll be like, oh, look at this minty fresh packaged box that I got from HellDopeToys.com. So what are we waiting for, y'all? Let's go get that credit card and head on over to HellDopeToys.com right now before they run out of all the good stuff.
Idiots! Incompetent buffoons! What is it now, Commander? Consummate morons, incapable of coherent thought! Are you watching that show again? Yes. Why didn't you just watch Pop Blender and Matthew's discussions, news, reviews before the show came out? Whether you agree or disagree, the perspectives provide enough context to know if the show or movie is worth your time or not. Yes, I know. I will not miss another Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central on Pop Blender's channel. Be more than once a man by watching Pop Blender and Matthew talk about pop culture news discussions and reviews on Tuesday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. And now you know. Televiper, be sure to hit like, share, and subscribe so we do not miss another episode, and hit that bell notification.
And 44D2, I actually have a doctor's appointment next Thursday to see if the blood pressure medicine is working. funny that you bring that up, but we'll find out. Anyway. Four Horsemen Studios dropped a little doozy on us, and this is Jersey Devil. So I ordered it. I usually say I'm not someone who is about like wants the latest and greatest thing. I order things because I want it. I was really hooked on glow in the dark. I still like glow in the dark, but lately I just really like things with wings, um, which is, in many ways what I should be avoiding because my house isn't very large, and my house isn't very large, and so why I need big toys with big wings, I don't know. I know nothing what a Jersey Devil is. I know the thing is big enough that it comes with a stand that wraps around the wraps around it, so it doesn't fall over, which kind of worries me that he's gonna fall over. But hey, I ordered it, and now this one is not in stock. They said they were going to be expecting it soon. Now, this is something that Matthew has talked about, that the Four Horsemen do, and I know this might get people mad at me when I say it. The Four Horsemen do this thing where they're like, hey, limited quantity, only 1 or 2 available, and don't miss it. And yet they have so many, it ends up that you don't need to worry about it. And they did it again. Hey, this thing is almost sold out, don't miss it. And I saw the email. This was the second day. This was Sunday. And I look at it like 3 hours after they send the email. I'm like, it's still available. So I don't know if this thing is still available, but it looks awesome. It's a figure obscura. It's got a big, giant, angry, like horses type head on a big old buck. But again, I like the way it looks. I love the wings. Creatures like this, when you start doing like photography, you can have anyone. You can have Storm Shadow fighting them. You can have Maximum Hulk knocking him down. Again, I think that this type of stuff is awesome. But yeah, so Tony's Fix says, if Figure Obscura ever made Darkness from the movie Legend, I'd have to buy that shit so fast. Four Horsemen of FOMO. I guess, but is it available right now? I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, if this thing is still available, then we know that, once again, like, people have stopped doing it. Not to mention, they know there's going to be a repaint of it. That's another thing. Whenever it comes to the Figure Obscura, know there's going to be a retailer exclusive. So it's definitely one of those things where it's like, you don't need to get it right away. There will be the retailer exclusive. It'll be painted differently, but I always say, look at this and ask yourself, do you think that like this is the color that you want? Do you think you're going to be able to get a better one? I just like it. I have no FOMO on getting it. It's just like, I liked it. So that's why I went and ordered it. But they do try and do that whole make you scared that it's not gonna. And 440, you're right. They play into people. They play on people's FOMO, and you know what? That's perfectly fine. It is a marketing gimmick, right? They are a company that they need to sell toys. They need to sell figures. I get it. Just know that that's what they do. 3-star says sold out, but there was another planned drop this Friday. So it's telling you, like, again, these aren't that hard to get. So, but they were available for quite some time. I mean, they were available for quite some time is all that I'm saying. They were available easily into Sunday. I ordered it because I saw it. I liked it. Boom. But here he is with a bone. His wings aren't even that big, but he's a big figure. So, but it's kind of why I bought like this guy right here. I'm gonna try not to knock everything over. I bought this guy here because I knew nothing about Dragon Man, but he had giant fucking wings. I'm like, that's gonna be cool. And it was also made to order, so it's doesn't go down in price. Which isn't the worst thing, right? But here's the back of them. And the wings aren't even like articulated. I mean, they can move a little bit, but they don't move all that much. Odin01 says historically, a lot of the Figure Obscura drops have sold out same day. I feel like Ganesha may have been the first that didn't. No, you're right. For a while they did. Then they started getting a much bigger shipment of them. Because before Ganesha, we had discussed this. This was actually something Matson, my moderator, he kind of went off on it about it. And he's like, dude, they do this stuff. Like, they do this all the time. And they also don't ship in the order that you order them. Because there was one that I ordered like towards the end of the night. And I know Matthew and Ed lives closer than I do. Not much, but closer than I do to where they ship out of. And he got his like 4 or 5 days after I got mine. And I've seen people like, I can't think of his name, guy from Toy Anxiety. He ordered it like on a Saturday and it shipped out on Sunday. And I think he had it by Monday because their show was on Tuesday and he had it by Tuesday. So it's one of those, it's definitely one of those things, but they don't sell out as quickly as they used to. So, Allison says, yep, my ex's mom definitely posed for this figure. It's super evident when you look at its backside. I don't know why you were looking at your mom's backside, but but again, I think this is cool. So I went ahead and I ordered it. These types of things, that Dragon Man, you can use it with Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes can fight it. All of Cobra can fight it. Obviously, Operation Monster Force. I have other Mythic Legion stuff that I can. Wolverine is always good. You have a Predator hunting it, so I love stuff like this. And again, as I get more into photography, this is where you start finding yourself ordering stuff you normally wouldn't be into, just because you want to do some sort of pictures with it. So. I guess it is sold out now, but Darren says that it will be back up, or there's supposed to be another drop on Friday. So if you are interested in it, just wait for it. If you see this and you're not able to get it, just know in a year, maybe a little bit less, there will be the retailer exclusive, and you can use my code at Helidope Toys, APWT. You get 10% off your entire order. And that's that. That's all the Four Horsemen stuff. Backwards jumping in here saying, what's up, guys? Just got home from the tree. I don't know if that's a weed thing. If that's you're hanging out in Johnny Appleseed's tree. Yes, Andrew Taylor says, Figure Obscura always releases the recolor to regular dealers a year later. And that's what I said, like, when you look at it. So when you look at it, my thing is, if you think like, I don't think they can do a better color than that, or a color that I would like more than that. That's how I felt about Frankenstein's monster. I was like, I don't know how they could do a color that I would like more, and I'm happy with that. And then I got the glow in the dark, which is, I'm being nice by calling it glow in the dark, but the glow in the dark Headless Horseman, I like that one more than the original one. I think that one looks better. There's a couple that I didn't get that I'm waiting for the retailer, but I actually like the original better, but I didn't get it. So if I want it, I'm going to have to, deal with that. So, but again, sometimes they drop something and you're like, shit, I wish I would have waited. And other times you're like, damn it, I should have waited. So, Izzy Trevi jumping in here saying, I always thought Jesus C had to be the best ab workout out in the plan, but Jersey Devil has a 10-pack. Jesus did have a pretty good ab workout. All right, Fresh Monkey Fiction, nothing new, but we do get to see some packaging of Soldiers of Fortune. So there's two ways to look at this. One, this is a cost-saving measure, although they are not passing the cost on to you. They're not putting in a box. They're putting it just in a, I'm assuming this is going to be a collector's friendly sleeve, considering these are BBTS exclusives. They won't be sold at stores. But we see the extra head who have hands, so you can have a white figure and a black figure. Or you can use these heads for other things. I know I have enough Operation Monster Force figures, and no, these are not Operation Monster Force. They're Soldiers of Fortune, but they're all made on the exact same buck. And then you guys can all get your hooded Cobra Commander. Before anyone says, well, if they can make a hooded figure, why can't Hasbro? Hasbro can. They've chosen not to. All right. My question is, will this hood, will the color match? Did they go and Pantone match either Cobra Commander so this works? Now, many of you will remember hooded Cobra Commander was the dark blue. This is a darker blue. Now, you can just have a hooded Cobra Commander, in his suit. And I think that's what a lot of people are going to do. If they were smart, they would have Pantone matched a couple of the Cobra Commanders. I think that would have been smart. One of the biggest issues now, this head peg for this Cobra Commander should fit with the original Cobra Commanders and the Regal ones, right? Where it won't match the new ones. That has a smaller neck peg, so you need to use some sticky tack. But maybe it's hard to say by looking at the picture, right? Like it could be completely different. But yeah. Well, so this is what I'm saying. This should fit the original Cobra Commanders because the original classified figures had the standard size neck peg. But even if this doesn't, the G.I. Joe is smaller. So all you need to do is use some sticky tack, bunch it up, put it inside that, and then pop it on it, and it's going to fit. Again, you won't be able to grab the figure by its head or anything, but a smaller neck peg works without making any type of changes. So, when do we get an unhooded Cobra Commander, the face that makes Destro sick? Ooh, that's a good one. Ultra Match says, I know the Monster Force. I know the Operation Monster Force fit on Action Force heads, but not the other way, oddly enough. No, and that's because, and it's only classified. They're the only ones that have changed that neck peg. They fit on Marvel Legends, and they fit on the Valiver stuff. They obviously fit on Fresh Monkey Fiction stuff. They'll probably fit on the Boss Fight Studio stuff. Everyone seems to have a universal peg other than classified. It's only classified, but originally it wasn't like that. So, Johnny Reno says, I hate sticky tack head swaps. Well, you do what you can. And then here's the back of it. So they got a nice little cross cell showing you all the different figures. Now, this is a lot of repaints. And, people have complained about repaints within the Valiverse line. They've complained about repaints from the Classified line. Oddly, no one complains about it in Masters of the Universe, which is the biggest culprit of all the companies to do repaints. But I think here it's like, this is how they make their money. So this is, again, a lot of army building here. So unless you're all in, and I've ordered everything so far, pick and choose. Pick and choose the figures that you think are going to, match, that are going to work with your stuff. That's the way that I see. 3 stars says, "Hey, a punk with toys. You know how to say NECA never goes on sale? Check their website out. They are having a hell of an online sale toy today. Huh. I will, well, I'll look. I don't know if it'll be on by the time I'm done with this. I'm scared to order anything from Nika because what if they send me something extra and then they want it back and they threaten me? That was a joke, but not really because it's totally true. MCR, no, people never complain. No, they don't. Yeah, they may ban you from buying their figures. All right. So we got one more set of slides, and then the show is over because I don't have a topic. So all the people that complain that the topic doesn't start till 11:45, well, there ain't no fucking topic. Of course, that person that always complains isn't here, Ed. He's in his Deliverance. He's playing Deliverance with his buddies. It's kind of creepy, but hey, you know what? You enjoy your vacation the way you need to enjoy it. Yeah, BQ King. I can't wait for the Jaguar Brigade Specialist. Operation Mountain Force has some really nice looking stuff. Matt O'Brien quickly says, topic, will the Star Wars HasLab fund? I haven't looked at it in a minute. Hold on. I'm going to jump over to it because we have enough time. It was less than half. It was less than halfway there. And let's see, what is it at right now? It's just under halfway. It's at 3,763. It has 14 days to go. This is one of those things. I think it looks really good. No, I'm not going to buy it no matter what, so it doesn't matter. I think they made a mistake by showing it comparison to the old one. Normally, that's a good thing. But when you show that it was only like a few inches bigger, now normally that makes a girl happy when it's a few inches bigger. But we're talking about toys, and that's a little different. I don't know. I just, it's like, in general, this is a iconic vehicle, but it's in generality because they had so many different ones. I think a Shuttle Tidarium would have been way more. I think that would be way more, wanted way more, especially a bigger one. I know I keep saying bigger, where you could fit more figures in it. You can use it for Jedi, for them like entering. You have it as, Vader's, Vader and the Emperors. I mean, I think the Shuttle Tidarium would have made more sense. And I'm trying to think, when was the last time they did a Shuttle Tidarium? I mean, have they ever redone a different one other than the original? And I think they redid the original one for the Power of the Force, or like around that time. But yeah, and quickly, Matt says they're dueling banjos. That's the name of Action Fig's his trip with his buddies. It's the dueling banjo trip. Hey, you know what? You call it whatever you want. But yeah, Baldy Locks jumping in here saying it's dumb, just makes people want the original gunship more. Yeah, again, I don't think it's different enough for everything that we've seen. So, and 44D2 says I would have been in for a shuttle. I mean, and I, has the Shuttle Tidarium been done before? I mean, obviously since we were kids. Let's see here. Allison says they only redid the shuttle in the late 2000s as part of the Legacy original trilogy collections and 3 3/4, and it was mostly reissued. Yeah, just like the Millennium Falcon when they did it like in '95. I didn't think that they ever did a whole new one. That one made completely sense. That would have made complete sense. And Matt O'Brien here, 450 just sucks when we got a 112 scale vehicle with electronics for 325. Again, Hasbro doesn't learn the fucking lesson. And the Engine of Vengeance, 350, came off right after the Hiss. Now, I think we all know, yes, there are royalties that are added into that. But you just came off a Hiss that was $300. People don't care about the royalties. Now, I know it's a thing, but when they see that aesthetically, it looks bad. And you're right, coming off, 325, which people were already struggling, and then you drop it at the exact same time. That's the thing I really don't get. But I think 450, I do think it's overpriced for what you're seeing with the other stuff. But a Shuttle Tidarian, yeah, that would have been awesome. Because that thing is so iconic. And make it so it can hang from the ceiling. Buff 88 jumping in here saying, with collecting so much classified and some Valibers, I can't go crazy with Monster Force at $40 a fig. Or you just collect Monster Force and classified. Just saying. I'm just throwing that out there. But you do whatever you want. But yeah. Well, I think a lot of people will be happy if they did it with the HasLabs, but I don't think it's going to happen, to be honest. Not for a little while. I know we talked about it last week too. It is successful as long as they get the right things, but you have to get the right things. You have to get the right things for people, and I don't think a gunship was it, but a Shuttle Tidarian, and now that you could have gone 450 because it'd be bigger than this in general. That thing would be as wide. Well, I don't even know what the size of this thing is. Like with the wings out. I'm looking at it like you guys can see, because I really don't want to spend too much time on it. Let's see here. It is. So the width is 30 inches. So it's, I think, a little bit shorter than the Rattler. Because I think the Rattler is 33 inches. But the Shuttle, the Tidarium would have been about 34 inches wide. But if you make it so it can carry and house all the characters, yeah. Matthew, we all wish they were $27. I'd get a lot more too. I'm not gonna lie. I wish stuff was cheaper too. But I'd rather support that company than other companies. That's just me. Krusty says, I would trade a HasLab project for a year to see special missions team pack instead. Well, what kind of special missions? All right. Let's wrap this up. Marvel Legends series. Oh, and we did have Pop Blender jump in here. He's right here. Hey, you lovely people. Hope all is well. I did not miss Pop. I was just chatting. Anyway, Marvel Legends. They came in and they're giving us a Mysterio. Now, I put this in here because a lot of people thought that this was a repaint. And then I started seeing online that it's not a repaint. They're actually giving some like extra head sculpts. So I guess there's some things that are different than the original one. That's all that I really know. So if you need a Mysterio, you can get one. He has a head sculpt. He has the big globe on his head. A plastic fucking cape. Like, this is the type of stuff. And if McFarlane can give you capes, soft good capes, you guys can too. Couple fists, a crazy head that really looks a lot like Crystal Balls, like the head that's in Crystal Ball. It is not the same. Just before anyone starts thinking it's the same, they can't use parts. They can't cross over parts. But it is a cool looking figure. It is a cool looking figure. So, but I guess it is not a complete repaint. That they did add a couple things to it. I have no need for this. Again, doesn't mean I won't end up buying it eventually. As I have issues, I've been buying a lot more Marvel Legends stuff. I don't know why. This whole Marvel Legends thing, I'm really starting to like a lot more of this stuff. And I look at this, I'm kind of like, I wouldn't mind having Mysterio, I guess, with a fishbowl on his head. But there he is right there, kind of angry. I just, they got to do away with these plastic capes, man. They really do. They're just so bad. I do need a quick second. So you know what? Here. This is from a dead guy.
Let me tell you something, Mean Gene. So I'm sitting at home Monday night and I get this DM from some guy named Tony, Legend Series. And he says, what you doing, Hawkster? I said, I'm watching Monday Night Raw. What are you doing? He's like, you got to turn on this thing called Monday Night Toy Ramblings on YouTube with this punk with toys. He's talking about you. So I want to turn on over and hear what this fool is talking about. And I turn it on and all I hear him say is that he was at WrestleMania 3 with 93,173 of his best friends. And he was there when he watched me pick up that big, mean, ugly giant. And when I slammed him to the ground, he said he felt the Silverdome shake all of Pontiac, Michigan. It shook. And then that's when I realized that this guy, him and all his punkamaniacs that are running wild every Monday night, that it is the best thing going in Michigan that's ever happened. Maybe the best thing ever on Monday night. So, if you're sitting here right now and you're not paying attention, a punk with toys, Monday Night Toy Ramblings, this guy will talk about everything. And it doesn't matter what you do. You can buy your subs. You can hit him with fake copyright strikes. He's coming after you if you get on his bad side. So what you're gonna do when Hulkamania, when Punkamania, when they all run wild on you?
All right. I just need a quick break to blow my nose. That's the behind the scenes. So anyway, here's your Marvel Mysterio if you want it. I don't know if it's available yet. I wasn't really paying attention. There's the back of the card. All right. And then we get this guy, big, I don't know what his name is. I literally saw this one came by and I'm like, let's throw it up there. And because of that, you kind of get the...
I don't go through all the graphics before the show.
Strong guy. That's an original name. But anyway, he's got a big giant chest. He's got a real heavy weight set. Wow, man. That's some real lame. It's a lame name right there. But there you go. He's got a big fist. He's got some thumb wrestling hands. He's got a thumbs up hand. Looks like he has a mohawk. Bent weight. Again, I have no need for this figure whatsoever. If you guys need them, awesome. Real big upper body, real big shoulders. But he's not squatting that much. He has nice developed legs, but I don't say he's squatting all that much. MCR says, I don't see how they can reuse that body. Dude. Really? they figure all kinds of stuff. He was a bodyguard for an intergalactic rock star. Lobo? Anyway, it kind of looks like Zakanin here. Right? This is like kind of that Zakanin vibe right there. Maybe somebody needs to get the Zakanin and then paint over this X and make it a V or Z. I mean, for I don't know where I got V from. Z for Zakanin. Tony, go do it. Highest me says, is that Larry or Lenny? No, I'm not that mad. And Cobra 887 says, night pumpkin chat. Have a wonderful night. Thank you for joining. So, and I do remember seeing this guy on like covers and stuff, but I never paid attention. So, strong guy. Wow, what a fucking lame ass name. I'm sorry. It's such a lame name. All right. But there you go. But now let's get to the meat. I can only imagine the maximum anger people are going to have with a maximum Deadpool. I don't think that this is I don't think this is a bad maximum figure to do. And the reason why I say that is Deadpool gets put in some very particular poses and he does different things. A lot of reuse. Now, this is where, again, I've talked about the price point. And I think a lot of people have come around on the $50 price point on Spider-Man because it's such a good figure. And it's all in the eyes of like how much play you get out of it, how much use you get out of it. But for that price, you should start giving some new weapons, some new accessories. And I know for a fact the machine gun is not new because Tony sent me like 2 of them. But this figure is a nice looking figure. If his articulated toes are anything like Maximum Spider-Man, then guess what? They're going to be good because the Maximum Spider-Man toes are actually really good. You can literally stand them on one foot, on one toe. Crestio Crow says, this is the only way I would buy a dupe figure. Yeah, I had no idea who that was, and I saw some people talk about it. So, and I heard someone also mention this, that they should have come with an unmasked head. And again, you might be correct. I'm not sure. But this figure is, I will be pre-ordering it. I forget when the pre-order goes up. It might even be up tomorrow. Something goes up tomorrow. I forget what it is. There's something that goes up tomorrow. Now, again, they're giving you a bunch. I don't remember the AK-47. I don't remember the big gun or whatever it is. But yeah, this is one of those where it's they give you the same blast effects, but I think they should do all new tooling when it comes to this. 3-star says Strongman is tomorrow, I believe. Okay. Yeah, this actually goes up. No, I think this is slated actually to be here at the end of the year. I think they said 3rd or 4th quarter, but I don't know when this one goes up. So here's Dupe. I have no idea who Dupe is. I only know Dupe because I think I was watching Robo and he mentioned what Dupe is and mentioned the X Factor logo and what he is. I don't know, but I thought the same thing, Tripwire. Is that AK bent? I don't know. I thought the same thing. It kind of looks like it is. Anyone that collects, classified and they complain about the gummy weapons, a lot of the Marvel Legends are still the exact same. They are still very, very bent. All right, quickly. MCR says, so looking at who is your second favorite jerk? We all know who number 1 is. Baldy is at 36%. Tony is at 39%. We have Terry at 7% and Spec at 18%. So, Tex says, I agree. Need everything should be new, including accessories. Yeah, I mean, it's the price point that you say, you know what, this is something that should have a lot of new tooling. Now, it sounds like the whole figure is all new. He should be a little bit bigger than Spider-Man. So I don't think you're going to see that Spider-Man buck be reused on this at all. But I didn't I also didn't grab my Spider-Man and try and compare it and see. And I'm not a big on articulated toes, but again, if it's anything like Maximum Spider-Man, I'm cool with it. The swords and the sword sheath, I know they are reused because the Deadpool that I have uses the same ones. The head sculpt, I think, is all new. It looks like the body is all completely new. Hold on. Pop Blender says there is no way Tony is in second place if I'm hearing that correctly. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I'm the number one jerk of everyone. Just saying. Hey, listen. Just so you guys know, the poll is about the first loser. All right. I am the wiener. All right. It's a 442. When Deadpool came out in the comics, people said he was a Spider-Man knockoff. No, he's he's Slade Wilson's knockoff. Who's Slade Wilson in DC again? They hardly even changed the name. But you get this dupe, and again, I don't think the dupe has been done. Stick of Dynamite. I don't know if they've done the Dynamite. I wouldn't be surprised if not. We know we're going to get a whole bunch of Dynamite. The Chimichanga, which again, I think that can really only be so much used in with Deadpool, right? Deathstroke, thank you very much. Hyatme says, okay, Tony has left the chat, so we can all remove his votes now. Oh, no, he's still here. Anyway. But you do get an AK. You get the swords. I can tell you by the swords with the other Deadpool that I have, these swords are way too small. So, I mean, they'll probably just sit in those sheaths for the most part. But again, I actually think this is a good opportunity for a Maximum figure because of his popularity. Again, you start with Spider-Man, very popular. Then you go to Maximum Hulk, and now you go into Deadpool. Now, when someone says they should have done a Beast, I can't argue that. I just don't know if Beast is popular enough for the controversy that these figures have kind of given away. And yeah, so 3 stars says, yeah, I have the 85th anniversary Deadpool. Those swords suck. Yeah, that's the one that I have. Yeah, Thor would have been another. Thor would have been a really good one. But I think people were more worried that they were going to do a Daredevil and reuse the Spider-Man buck. And again, although this is a very similar size buck, I believe he's going to be a little bit bigger. He should be bigger than Spider-Man, just fill out wise. So you do have a completely different buck. But again, I think a Thor would have been great. A Wolverine would have been a mistake, only because they're dropping that 2-pack Wolverine, which they're telling you, hey, they can get in this pose you've always wanted. At least they're learning their lesson now to not drop something like a Maximum Wolverine right before that one hits, where everyone can cancel those orders on the 2-pack. But I think we're all going to see a Maximum Wolverine eventually. So here's the so this is the M60 that Tony sent me 2 of. I actually think the M60 is really good. I think it's a really good gun. But again, like, this is where you should be throwing in like a lot of new accessories, if not all new accessories. And so here's everything you're going to get with them. Now, yeah, you're getting a completely new buck, the dupe or poop or whatever he is, 2 different face sculpts, I know the machine gun is reused. The 45s look like they are reused. As a matter of fact, I think that's what he might even come with. Does that 85th come with it? The swords and the sheath are the same. The dynamite's probably been reused. The AK I don't recognize, nor do I recognize the other gun. Or I don't have anything, and Tony's never sent me them. But all in all, I only have one Deadpool figure. He's not the greatest figure in the world. He's not bad. He's actually, I think, a little small, to be honest. So I will be definitely getting this. I like both Maximum Series figures that I've gotten so far. I can't complain about either one of them. And I think, as most of you know, I've spent a lot of time doing stuff with the Maximum Hulk. But this is like, I know a lot of people kind of suspected it might be this figure. I think doing Wolverine kind of got put on the back burner because of the 2-pack that's coming out and them talking about how much it is different. So, well, it's not Rock and Roll's M60 because they can't cross over, but it's the same style. But it might be the Walgreens Punisher. I don't know. You sent me 2 of them. That's all that I know. Roman, you all right, buddy? Roman's making all kinds of noise. Tech 849 says, other than the handguns, I don't like the big guns. The M60 is really good. Like, I really like it, although it does not have a if it has a port for blast effects, I think that's new because I don't think the other one has it. I don't have one. I don't have it around me. I have it on specific figures. I'm trying to see. Oh, actually, all right, hold on. Give me 1 second here. Let me grab it. It's actually on. It's actually on this guy right here, and there's no port for blast effects. It's actually this one right here. There's no port for blast effects. It's not focusing that well on it, but it's the same. It's the same M60, and it's a good machine gun. It works really well with heavy duty. If you don't want him to have that big computer desk. But it doesn't have a port for blast effects unless they changed it. And it kind of looks like it's meant to have it because they put the blast effect right above it. But I have a feeling people are going to look at it and be like, yeah, it doesn't. Buff 88 says Hasbro 100% should have added an unmasked head. No brainer. Well, that's the problem. It clearly is a brainer. Or else they would have. Tony said he thinks it's the Walgreens Punisher. I don't know. Just so you know, Tony sends me all these classified and and Marvel Legends guns because he puts gridiron in everything. So he has to change things out because Mark will get mad at him if he doesn't put new stuff on it. So Tony sends these to me, and again, that M60 is awesome. It's a really good gun. Unlike the classified one where it actually has the bipod that comes down, this one is just molded into it. But yeah, I don't know enough about Deadpool in the comics and what type of weapons he uses, but I just think that is something that they should make new ones because they're going to reuse them and that's perfectly fine. But it's kind of like, hey, you know what? You're buying this Maximum here. We're going to give you all new stuff. And then later on, we're going to reuse this stuff. That's how you should be doing it. You should be reverse engineering it where you're like, or not reverse engineering it. Right? Reverse engineering would be putting in stuff but that's what they should be doing, in my opinion. And here's the back of them. Again, I like it. I've liked both Maximum figures that I've gotten. I'm sure it's going to do well. It's the right figure for them only because he's popular, right? He's popular. I don't think there have been that many Deadpool figures other than like movie figures right now. And I mean, I'm not talking about in the whole entire line, but as of recently, we've had, 100 Captain Americas, 100 Wolverines, 1,000 Spider-Man. I don't think there's been that many Deadpool other than like movies, which that's MCU. At least as of now it is. So I think it totally makes sense. Okay. We all do MCR, free gridiron stuff for everyone in Arizona. What about for Crazy Tony? Huh? He's in Arizona, is he not? Johnny, you can't say stuff like that. Anyway, Pop Blender jumping in here with a member for 21 months, which you know what he gets is a
fucking Phil Collins.
Poor Phil Collins. Toy Optics jumping in saying, "What the fuck is the pool? What the fuck kind of pool is that?" Honestly, it lets me know how many people are in here. There's 101 votes because see, people will vote in that. Here, I'll let you in on something, Spec. There is 101 votes, but only 81 likes. So you have to look at this stuff. So anyway, yeah, you have to look at that stuff. I find it easy to do, and I think you know what. And if you're reading it, I think you know why. Who the second favorite jerk is. Just so you know, we all know who number one is. It's this guy right here. 82. Yeah, people will forget to hit that like button. So please, if you haven't yet, hit the like button and hit that subscribe button. People will remember to hit the poll only because they, I don't know why. They want to have their say. But then again, hey, people not liking it, and maybe that's the way of saying we don't like the show. We're just hate watching. Go look at your dislikes, and you'll know exactly. So you say something now, there's 85 likes. Hey, blame the people here. Don't blame me. All right, I didn't tell anyone to vote for anyone. I was actually against voting for Tony, if you want to know the truth. And Ultramatch says you're giving us too many options to hit the like button or the poll, or the poll. We're easily confused. Oh, someone asked who you are. Oh, well, you guys need to watch Circle of Jerks. If you're not watching Circle of Jerks, first off, I don't know what the hell you're doing, because right here, 6:30 tomorrow, I will be live with Baldy Locks, that dude Spec, Tony's Figs, and maybe Tony will be there. I don't know. He might be working, and Terry. And we're going to be talking about the canceled Hasbro PulseCon 2025, and then the Maximum series, and then other stuff. Baldy doesn't let us know what he's really talking about. We're all kind of shocked when we get there. But Spec here, I'm gonna, since I know you're just tuning in, Baldy has been really showing off these rabbits in Colorado with this tumor. Or tell me that this doesn't look like some of those rabbits that he's been showing off. So, Baldy, if you're still watching right now, I know you were in earlier. You got to have this guy on here. Savage Crucibles. It looks like the stupid rabbits. Now it looks like deer are getting it and or getting some sort of pus balls, and now you're getting squirrels with dude, what the fuck? Just keep it away from dogs. Keep it away from dogs, right? Because dogs are awesome. And keep it away from humans too. You don't need that shit. But anyway, this looks like one of those rabbits. I know Baldy's popped in and out a couple times, so if he's here, then awesome. You know I'll have it in there because how I know Baldy's been like, you guys know how my mind works, and I think we're all like, no, we don't, and we don't want to. One of you with your mind working like that is good enough for everyone. I don't think we all need to have minds like that. But yeah. So I'm just looking at here really quick here. So somebody asked about the definition here. Yeah. No, I'm just looking quickly. I can't switch my someone said I looked like I was in like 480p, or they even had a little less than that. I think it's actually been pretty good today. So MagDaddy3 says, so I finally got my Rattler and dying to put it together, but not sure I have the space and wondering if it's fairly easy to take apart and disassemble. Ooh, Toy Optics will tell you it's not easy to take apart. I don't think that it is. These things are not meant to come apart. I will say that right now. I know people have taken the rear end of the Dragonfly off, and the rear end of the Rattler pops on the same way. But that's a big chunky piece. I would be more scared to take the wings off. I'd be more scared to take the wings off. Yeah, once that thing's on there, man, I'd say make sure you have your space, and it's always going to be together. Hyatt to me says, honestly, great content. Reviews, pro level content on Toy Optics, classy shit. What about me? I don't have any classy. Poplin says, how about a poll? Who is the biggest jerk of the chat? That would be interesting. Maybe not such a good idea. Because you can only put up to 4 options. If I could put 5 options, I would have put all 5 of us. All right. I mean, it's kind of skewing the numbers because you guys are on my chat. That's why I put who is the second, who is your second favorite jerk? You can only put 4 options. Again, like, really, YouTube, you can't make it so we can put more than 4 fucking options. Is it really that hard? Like, is there something like YouTube's like, man, we can do this and we can do that. The one thing that we can't do is give you more than 4 options in a poll. It's just not possible. But no, again, as for taking the Rattler apart or the Dragonfly, I know people have taken the back end of the Dragonfly off. Nope, not even gonna try. Johnny Reno says depends on who eats the cookie afterwards. Hold on. 3 stars says I definitely not try to take the tail section back apart. So I think, and I remember when the Dragonfly came out, I think that if you were to put like Scotch tape around I think you put Scotch tape around the end of the the tail end. That piece is big enough and there's enough tension that it will hold it on. It won't snap it in. But I think if you put tape around it, and someone else, I may have even heard someone say this, you'd be able to squeeze in that trigger. So once it slides in, it won't pop off and engage. the weight of it or the strength of it, the pressure should keep it together, and then you could slide it off. The wings are the things that I would worry about, just in my opinion, from me putting mine together. So, but the thing, once you get it, you're gonna want it out. The question is how. Now, Pixis Designs created a stand. Pixis Designs has a mod. Now it's 3D printed, which scares the shit out of me for this thing, where you can connect it to a monitor stand, and you can mount it to your wall, or you can buy one that would, I guess, mount to your table. I'd be damned if I'm going to mount it to my table. I would fucking mount this thing into the wall. And you can connect the top piece onto it so it can actually be in the air, not on the ground. I don't know if that would help you out, but look that up. I've seen a few people online that have done it. I know War Chest Full of Toys, he's done it. It still scares me, to be honest. But if it can hold a TV, as long as it's holding that in place, I would just be worried about 3D printed stuff holding that thing up for a long period of time. Blitz says, I personally taken my dragonfly tail off 3 times. It's not fun, but I've done it. Yeah, and like I said, I have less fear about taking off the rattler tail, because just like the dragonfly, it's big and chunky. The wings though, oof, man. I know I've looked at it and I'm just kind of like, I fear maybe one day the weight of it would break, but hopefully they put enough. They looked into it enough to say that this is going to hold. Spec says, I tried to carefully take the wings off using panel proper tools, and they didn't want to give even a little bit. Yeah, and again, like you I would just say, make sure you have a space for it, that you're never going to want to put anything else there for again. But anyway, that's all I have for tonight. It's been 3 hours. It's just after 12. I got to wake up early now and take my daughter to school, because school has started, which means I have to wake up half hour early, and I always struggle to get to bed anyway. So anyway, you guys can catch me in less than 24 hours over on Circle of Jerks over at Baldy Locks Reviews, which is right here. All right. So check us out. Myself, Baldy Locks, Spec, Terry, and Tony's Figs. Spec is Toy Optics. I guess I should say that. Spec is his name, his last name. Toy Optics is his channel. He's right here right now. We'll be on live 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. After that, at 10 p.m., Pop Blender and Matthew, they come on. They talk about pop culture stuff, talk about other stuff. Tune into them. If you're here, drop a link to it. I know you dropped a link a little bit earlier. Ed Action Figs. He is on vacation. So he won't be doing a show. Toy Optics, Tony is the junior lawyer. Correct. He is the junior lawyer. That's why he's not on the billboard. We'll have to see. Maybe we'll look at making him a junior partner later on. But as for right now, he's just a junior lawyer. First year. He's a first year guy. He understands. He understands. He's the one, he has to go get the cookies and stuff like that. But someone's got to do it. And the junior lawyer, that's the guy that has to do it. But anyway, I'm out of here. Check us out tomorrow. Baldy Locks Reviews. You can't see it here. That's why I've dropped the link. I look forward to seeing you guys all there tomorrow. As if you haven't checked out Circle of Jerks, it's a fucking blast, dude. It really is. So see you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful night. And thank you guys all for joining.
Better time.